Good morning, EWU family, and welcome to a new academic year at the Edward Waters University, where we are continuing the relentless pursuit of eminence. Yes, a new academic year at EWU, the place where change is inevitable and growth is taking place. We know, in the words of Ty Howard, to fear change is to fear being challenged. To fear being challenged is to fear growth and new possibilities. So, as we relentlessly pursue eminence this academic year at our beloved institution, I charge you to do so with change in mind and without fear. For at Edward Waters University, we do not have to fear change. Why? Because we have seen what change looks like at this great institution, and we must continue to seek growth and new possibilities each and every day that we are here. It is our blessing, it is our calling to be at Edward Waters at such a time as this. So, with that in mind, I think it is very fitting to open this year's Institute with a single quote, a quote that is more than 2,000 years old, but it has stood the test of time. It is a quote given to us by the great Greek philosopher Socrates, and it reads, "The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new." Let us go forth this year with the determination to build the new together as only the Edward Waters University family can do. Greetings and welcome back. At this time, we will look at our program and follow it as it is printed and in the order it is printed, beginning with our invocation by Reverend Claude Cheatham Jr. Reverend Cheatham.
God bless you, Madam Provost. Thank you for the opportunity to share. Beloved, let's bow in prayer together as we seek the Lord. Oh, gracious and mighty Master, everlasting Father, how we come to you, first of all, thanking you for this incredible and amazing day that you've granted us. Thank you for your peace. Thank you for your power. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for your longevity. Thank you for your sustaining power. Thank you, God, for your keeping power. Thank you that we can depend on you. Thank you that we can trust in you. Thank you, God, that we can run to you, not only in times of trouble, but in every day of our life, in every walk of our life. We honor you and bless you for that privilege. Now, gracious God, as we commence a new school year, as we commence a new academic year, God, we pray that you would be with us. God, we first invoke and invite your presence into Edward Waters University, into this academic year. Be with our staff, be with our professors, be with our students, be with the entirety of the Edward Waters community. God, we lift them up to you. God, we pray for success this year. God, as our provost has already mentioned the change that we've been able to see, God, continue to allow us to see a campus that is evolving, that's ever changing, that's ever growing. God, never allow us to remain stagnant and looking to the status quo, but allow for us to embrace that which we could not see, declaring what your word says, that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of man what you desire to do for us. Bless and keep us as it is that we seek to do your work and your will. Protect our students as they return back to campus, and let us have a productive and a positive year. We honor and bless you for the precious and priceless privilege to share our faith and grow together as an educational community. In the matchless, marvelous, majestic, strong name of Jesus, we pray. We all say together, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Reverend Cheatham, for that wonderful and most moving prayer. Well, at Edward Waters, we like to have fun. So we always start our annual opening institute with an icebreaker, and no one can do it better than Dr. Andrea Cummings. And following our icebreaker and our fun times, we will receive welcomes from Dr. Sharon Burnett on behalf of the executive administration, Dr. David Jameson on behalf of our faculty, and Ms. Patricia Johnson, senior communications major, on behalf of our students. She also serves as the Student Government Association president. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the start of the 2022 academic school year. So yes, I like to have fun. I am happy to see each and every one of you on this morning and here today with us. And of course, because we're operating in a mode that is not as interactive as we would want it to be, I want to first apologize for changing the original icebreaker. The plan was to do true colors, but instead we're going to do something a little bit differently. So, on the count of 3, I would like for each of you to look into the camera and wink. Doesn't matter which eye you wink, just look into the camera and wink. 1, 2, 3. That'll show me, of course, that you're alert. So I saw some of those winks. Now listen. And before you do anything, I need for you to listen. Next, I want you to stand up. I need you to move away from your desk or wherever you are, your surrounding. So you're going to stand up. You're going to move away from where you are, and you're going to make 10 steps. And on your way back to your chair, to your desk, to your area, I need you to stop, pick up something from the floor or from where you are, and I need you to show us on the camera. Okay, so let's do it. 1, 2, 3. We're all standing up, away from your desk, making 10 steps, and pick up something and show us on the camera. Right now, I think we should have all returned to our places, to our desks, to our chairs, wherever you are. With that mindset, I need you to start the academic year always ready, always alert. On the alert, be prepared or being prepared and ready for whatever is to come. Next, you have to pick up something and show us. So as you navigate the year, pick yourself up. Pick up your students, your colleagues. Find a reason to pick someone up. Elevate them. Now, that was the fun part. I have a few trivia questions for you, and I need you to type the answers or your response in the box as quickly as possible. Here goes. What building? This is our first question. What building are they doing a full renovation? Next question. I need the full name of the football coach. The full name of the football coach. In what former room is the wellness center located? Who is the new associate provost? I need her full name. Who is the new associate provost? And our last question, what floor is currently being renovated in the administration building? What floor is currently being renovated in the administration building? I need to see the answers. This concludes my icebreaker. Enjoy and let's have a wonderful academic year. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. It brings me great pleasure to welcome you to the beginning of the 2022-23 academic year. The 21-22 academic year culminated in commencement exercises where President Faison allowed students and others to end declaring their testimony that they never would have made it. This song by Marvin Sapp professes that without the guidance of the Lord God Almighty, many would not have made it. But I posit a little bit further. I think that many of our students never would have made it without you, many of you, both faculty and staff. Those who stood in the gap as a supernatural support system. You helped make them stronger and you made them wiser. So as we begin the academic year, I hope you don't mind starting this new season with another song. It's called It's Working by William Murphy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not like President Faison. I cannot sing at all. But the song goes something like this. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Everything is working together for my good. Colleagues, look around you at the progress at Edward Waters University. Surely we all find it easy to say that this is our season. We've accomplished so much. New programs, new facilities, major renovations, student success stories. This definitely sounds like favor to me. Many of you have been around Edward Waters University for quite some time, and others, like me, are beginning the journey, looking to contribute to the visionary leadership of our president and CEO, Dr. A. Zachary Faison. That is the beauty of working together, the progress that you see. The song also says, I haven't been perfect, but I sure been faithful. God's got a purpose, and I know he's able. I got a seed in the ground. Everything is working together for my good. Is that not the Edward Waters story? Colleagues, God is leaning in our direction, and the students might say, we need to lean with it. So for the 22-23 academic year, plant your seed and know that just as Proverbs 16:3 states, commit your works to the Lord and your plans will be established. Welcome to the 22-23 academic year. It's working together for our good. Thank you.
Now I'm knowing.
Hello, colleagues. This is David Jameson. I'm honored to serve my second year as Faculty Senate President this year. To the new faculty members, I would like to say welcome to Edward Waters. Welcome here. You will find a faculty who is passionate about their school and passionate about their positions and the gifts that they were given to pass on to the next generation. Edward Waters, as you may or may not know, has a proud tradition established in 1866 as having to educate the recently freed slaves of Jacksonville. And so Edward Waters has always been a an educator and an aid to the underdog, those who are trying to work their way up in society. And so to this day, we have faculty who are very passionate about our student success. So if that is you, then welcome to our school, welcome to the team. The Faculty Senate is, as in many schools, dedicated to taking care of the overseeing really all of the aspects of the faculty that the faculty needs, and the shared governance in the university. We have a few subcommittees which I encourage you to participate in. We have our budget committee, professional development to aid in our teaching skills and pedagogy, institutional review board, which looks at our practices and ethical practices at the school, the curriculum committee, faculty policy and welfare, and graduation and retention. So if you are new, please consider participating in the Faculty Senate. It's also part of your service as a professor. You are given the task of performing some sort of service for your community, and so when you go up for promotion, your work on the Faculty Senate is acknowledged. So again, welcome to our school. To the faculty who have been here before, returning faculty members, welcome back. Glad to see you back. I again have been honored to be the Faculty Senate president, and if I have been doing a good job in your estimation, I appreciate it. If I have not been doing as well a job in your estimation in some ways, I hope that you feel confident in reaching out to me and letting me know what I can do to do better. I've tried to represent myself as someone you can always come to for criticism, as well as words to benefit me, in my benefit. So please, as you have been doing, and many of you feel very comfortable reaching out to me and letting me know how you feel. So please continue to do that. Our first Faculty Senate meeting of the year is going to be August 29th. I'm going to send out reminders very soon. We're going to please attend that one, everyone, if you can. We're going to be electing officers, as well as making sure that all of the people who are serving in subcommittees are still serving in those committees. So please attend if at all possible, so we can establish these last things. And also, we will be filling the position of a new faculty secretary. So we have a position in the Faculty Senate leadership that needs filling. So please try to fulfill your obligations to university. And a third time, welcome here, welcome back, welcome home, and I will hopefully see you soon on campus. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come forth. Hold high the torch, for you did not light its glow. 'Twas given to you by other hands, you know. 'Tis yours to keep it burning bright, yours to pass on when you no more need light. For there are other feet that we must guide, and other forms go marching by our side. Their eyes are watching every smile and every tear, and efforts which we think are not worthwhile are sometimes just the very helps they need. Actions to which their souls would give most heed, so that in turn they'll hold it high and say, I watch someone else carry it this way. Brighter paths should beckon you to choose. Would your small gain compare with all you'd lose? Hold high the torch. You did not light its glow. 'Twas given to you by other hands, you know. I think it started down its pathway bright, the day the Maker said, let there be light. And he once had said, who hung on Calvary's tree, ye are the light of the world. Go, shine for me. To our faculty and staff, good morning. I am Patricia Olivia Johnson, and I bring you greetings on behalf of the Edward Waters University student body as I serve as your Student Government Association student body president, and I'm happy to appear before you this morning. As we have returned from our well-needed break, I want to start with gratitude. On behalf of the students, I want to be the first to say thank you to each and every one of you for all you do to pour into every student at this institution. I know many of you go above and beyond the call of duty to make sure we have the best in-class experience as we matriculate through Edward Waters University. Whether that be by reopening assignments that are past the due date, serving as a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, or just being present, I know without a doubt there is no dollar amount that can accurately represent the amount of impact you leave on your students. Much like previous years, I am asking that you collaborate with me to take our charge to serve a step further by reigniting the tiger. Reigniting the tiger is more than just a theme or catchy phrase. It is the future way of life for Edward Waters University. Reigniting the tiger means reigniting the passion for this great institution through service, teaching, and uplifting at the Edward Waters community. The future of our student body is dependent upon that, and it is up to every one of us to fulfill our duties. Many students walk around fighting silent battles we may never see on the service. And even myself have been homeless and without family during my time here, but it has been the support of some amazing staff that has constantly filled in the gaps and kept me uplifted so that I could pursue greatness. When we take the time to invest into our students, there's a potential in them that will release an abundance of talent into this institution. That is the flame that shall burn on this campus, and I am appealing for your support. If anyone asks you, when is the time to reignite the tiger? The time to reignite the tiger is now. Thank you.
Thanks to each of you for such a dynamic welcome and greeting. Certainly, we should all feel now that we are where we are supposed to be again for such a time as this. Let us reignite the tiger and let us, by all means, walk into our season, a season of change, a season where we relentlessly continue to seek eminence at Edward Waters University. At this time, we will continue with Ms. Carla Grace, who will introduce our new employees, and she might have something else a little fun and good to share with you. Ms. Grace.
Good morning, EWU. I know everybody's usually not excited to see me coming their way, but I thought I'd break up the program with a little bit of fun and starting off with some drawings, some giveaways that I have. And Justin is going to pull up my handy dandy wheel here. And I don't know if everybody can see it or not. Okay. So he's going to spin, and I'm going to be giving away, the first gift or giveaway is going to be an EWU t-shirt. You can see it. Okay. And the first number is number 132, and I want to look up. It's Miss Smith. Miss Smith wins every time. Congratulations, Miss Smith. Congratulations, Miss Smith. Okay, you can come by and pick up the t-shirt anytime before 5 o'clock today. All right. My next giveaway is going to be a gift card for Subway. All right. Number 87 is Naeem McDaniel. Congratulations, Naeem. All right. So I don't know how many of you like Buffalo Wild Wings, but I got another gift card for Buffalo Wild Wings. By the way, I want to thank Henry Smith for helping us get these wonderful gift cards. Number 51. Let's see here. Miss Brenda Harrell. Miss Brenda Harrell won. And I got 2 more gifts to give away. So I'm going to start your morning off. Maybe you can have a nice cup of joe. So we'll see who wins the coffee cup. Number 135 is Robin Stevens. Congratulations, Miss Stevens. And my last gift that you're going to need every day around 5 o'clock these days, because it rains every day at 5 o'clock, it seems like, is an umbrella, EWU umbrella. Number 52 is Marie Heath. Congratulations, Miss Heath. All right, now we need to get down to business. So, good morning. Again, I am Carla Graves. I am the Executive Director of Human Resources and Administrative Services. And this morning, it is my responsibility and my pleasure to introduce our new colleagues, the new faculty and staff of Edward Waters University since February 2022. But before I start, as always, I'd like to express my sincerest appreciation to all of the current EWU faculty and staff for your courage, your care, and your commitment to the institution. We appreciate you so much. And with that being said, I would like to proceed with the introduction of the new employees. Please watch this PowerPoint video.
Office of Human Resources and Administrative Services welcomes new employees to the Edward Waters University family from February 2022 through August 1st, 2022. Delicia George, Executive Assistant to the President and CEO. Christina Asman, Administrative Assistant and Database Manager. Sonia Holton, Human Resources Generalist. Tamika Hobbs, Executive Director of A. Philip Randolph Institute for Law, Race, Social Justice, and Economic Policy. Dr. Sharon Burnett, Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. Courtney Birch, Reference Librarian. Vanilla Jackson, Student Account Specialist and Cashier. Dr. Medhat Kador, Assistant Professor, Forensics. Gary Kitt, Mailroom Coordinator. Dr. Melinda Swoop, Associate Provost for Academic Affairs and Associate Professor of Chemistry. Dr. Michael West, Vice President, Institutional Effectiveness, Operations, System Management, and Process Optimization. Jerica Neal, Assistant Athletic Trainer. Kennedy Golf, Assistant Athletic Trainer. Dimitri Smith, Assistant Football Coach, Linebacker. Jesse Jones, Area Coordinator. Naeem McDaniels, Assistant Director of Resident Life Housing. Leslie Tolentino, a Missions Recruiter. Marquita Mines, Head Track Coach. Tiffany Britt, Financial Aid Counselor. Okiria Coleman, Financial Aid Counselor. Roderick Mosey, Director of Career Development and Placement Services. Crystal Davis, English Academic Specialist. Again, we would like to welcome all new hires.
Thank you so much, Ms. Graves and staff in the Office of Human Resources, and a very, very warm welcome to all of our new faculty and staff who have joined us. You are now officially a member of the Edward Waters University community, and we all look forward to working with each of you. Welcome. At this time, it is my pleasure to bring forth Dr. Michael West, who was just introduced to you, and he is our new Vice President for Institutional Effectiveness, Operations, Systems Management, and Process Optimization. He will share with you where we are and where we're going with strategic planning at Edward Waters University. Dr. West.
Thank you, Dr. Oliver, and good morning to the entire Edward Waters community. I was reminded this morning as I pulled onto campus, this is our first day with students, faculty, and staff all being on board. So it's always a time of excitement and opportunity, new energy for the upcoming academic year. So very excited to be on campus and a part of this. Before we get into our agenda, it's important to note that this iteration of Eminence 2025 strategic planning is not a restart, but a continuation of the work that began at the inception of the Faison administration in 2018 and 2019. So building on the work done to date on Eminence 2025, Edward Waters is leveraging a vision-centric strategic planning framework to realize the strategic vision that undergirds Eminence 2025. So we'll be doing a very quick summarized overview of where we've been and where we're headed with our strategic planning process. We'll be reaffirming our purpose, refining our, let's go back one if we can. Reaffirming our purpose, refining our perspective, and realizing our potential. So today what we want to do is just give you an overview of what the vision-centric strategic planning process looks like, where we've been, where we're headed, the timeline, and next steps. Next slide, please. So why vision-centric strategic planning? Well, Proverbs tells us where there's no vision, the people perish. And our president, next, reminds us that a vision without provisions ain't nothing but an illusion. And he shared that with us on LinkedIn on July 15th, so the timing probably could not have been better. Next, please. So what is vision-centric strategic planning? Well, it really gets at the essence of what Dr. Faison was telling us there. We're really looking to build a bridge between mission and vision. Mission is why we exist as an organization. Vision is where we want to go as an organization. And the bridge is developing the resources, allocating the resources, or reallocating the resources necessary to achieve our vision. So time, talent, and treasure are absolutely necessary in order for us as units and as a university to achieve our vision. So what is the vision strategic planning process? What does this look like, and how is it differentiated from a more traditional planning process? I direct you to the right side of the screen. It's future-oriented, it's outward-facing. We're not as focused internally on what we have done in the past. We're not trying to hang on to old paradigms. We're really looking to move forward. And in this process, we ask tough questions. We prioritize. We seek key alignments, and alignments are critical. We need to make sure that our vision is aligned with the marketplace, our campus culture is aligned with that vision, that we have the resource base that's aligned with where we want to go, and we want to prioritize existing operational plans. We do not want to abandon what has worked for us. We want to make sure that those operational plans align with our vision and our drive forward with Eminence 2025. This is a more simplified, intuitive planning process. It's active, it's focused on campus-wide involvement, and it really focuses on plan execution, not so much on the plan development. And there is a distinction between a strategic plan and strategic planning. And the planning is really heavily focused on developing, allocating, and reallocating resources necessary to achieve our vision. So the timeline for Eminence 2025. Key dates. In 2018, 2019, as I mentioned, at the inception of the Faison administration, there were a number of stakeholder meetings, focus groups, input, some informal, some more formal, and that informed a lot of the changes, a lot of the progress that the university has made since Dr. Faison and the administration took over. In 2022, as we move into this iteration of the Eminence 2025 planning process, we'll be revisiting some of that stakeholder engagement because the university is in a different place. It's perceived internally and externally much differently than it probably was back in 18 and 19. And we want to make sure that our internal stakeholders and external stakeholders have an opportunity to let us know what they think about where we've been and where we need to go as part of this process. We are looking at a final strategic plan date of December 1st of 2022. And that final date aligns with the SAC's annual meeting, which is December 3rd through the 6th in December of 2022. Most of you should have seen this. I do understand, of course, we have new faculty, new staff, new students that may be on the call. And it's important that we all understand the strategic priorities that have been outlined over the last number of years. The Eminence 2025 strategic vision. Priority 1, there are really 4 tenets involved here. Tenet 1, enhance. Tenet 2, create. Tenet 3, foster. And Tenet 4, engender. Strategic priority number 1 is really focused on the academic programs and really implementing a competitive 21st century academic program of superlative excellence. Strategic priority number 2 is creating financial viability. Priority 3, we're looking to foster a genuine student-centered culture that's rooted in student leadership, development, success, service, and student engagement and achievement. And priority number 4, we're looking to engender a culture of institutional philanthropic support and establish the brand, the Edward Waters brand, as a best-in-class institution of distinction and emerging eminence. So as we move forward with this process, and you're engaged in conversations with your own offices and units, it's really critical to think about and know and understand how important each of you are to all 4 of these strategic priorities. So our timeline for rolling out this plan, the kickoff phase, again, there's sort of a revisit in early spring of this year. You can see on the left that we're looking to reaffirm our purpose with phase 1. So that's the next slide, please. So phase 1, we're looking at mission and vision alignment. That's spring of 2022. It's just making sure that the vision and the mission are working well together. Next slide, please. And refining our perspective. Phases 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all involved in really looking at data collection, analyzing where we are, doing projection modeling to understand where we're going to be. Phase 2 is going to give us the opportunity to not only revisit the information that was brought forth by our stakeholders in 2018 and 19, but it's given us a new opportunity to revisit with our stakeholders this summer and fall of 2022 as we build out this plan. Phase 3, identify and prioritize strategic issues. And phase 4, which is the phase that we're currently in right now, is developing SMART goals. The SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, and as Dr. Faison likes to say, audacious. I worked for a wonderful president years ago, and audacious to us always meant they were stretch goals, they were attainable, but they were going to move and challenge the organization to do a little bit more than they thought they could do. The R in SMART is results focused, and T is time bound. And so that's a process that we're going through right now with the cabinet and various units around campus. Phase 5 will be developing strategic initiatives. So what are the action plans that will help us drive these goals to support all of our strategic priorities and objectives? And then we'll move into phase 6, realizing our potential, which is phase 6, 7, and 8, review and adoption of the plan. We will launch and implement the plan, and the planning for the launch, of course, will start this fall. The launch itself will be spring of 2023. And what's really critical to a process like this is not just to have the plan, but to have an assessment and a continuous improvement process associated with it, so that we can revisit how we're doing against our goals and our key performance indicators on an ongoing basis. If we hit goals early, we reestablish that goal. If we're not hitting goals where we need to hit them in order to hit our 2025 goals, we sit down, we take a look at it. And so this is meant to be a constructive type of process that helps us use assessment to move us forward. Next slide, please. So next steps, phase 2, we'll revisit, go to the next slide, please. Data collection and analysis, as I just mentioned. We will start some of that process tomorrow with Faculty and Staff Institute breakout sessions with academic divisions. I'll be hosting 2 sessions along with my staff from IEOSPO tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. And then in the upcoming month, we'll be getting surveys out to faculty and staff, students, and other EWU stakeholders. Next, please. In phase 4, I just mentioned that we've gone through a recent phase of drafting strategic initiative statements, SMART goals, and KPIs. We're in a review process right now, pulling data to look at projection modeling to make sure that our data-driven goals are actually just that, and that these things are attainable over the next 3 years as we move from now until 2025. And so the KPI trend analysis and projection modeling is a key thing that we have going on in our office. So again, this is meant to be a summary of where we've been and where we're headed with the Eminence 2025 strategic planning process. What I would offer is that if any of the office leadership, unit leadership around campus would like for me to set up a time to go through this process and meet with you on an office by office basis, I'm more than happy to do that. We want this to be engaging, collaborative, and we want the final planning and the final planning document to represent the entire Edward Waters University community. So thank you for your time. Look forward to the new school year.
Thank you so much, Dr. West, and certainly I'm excited about finalizing this strategic plan. The goals are dynamic, and we should all feel excited about being a part of this effort as we rebrand our institution as one of uniqueness, distinction, and longevity. Thank you so very much. Well, I am pleased right now to announce that for the first time in many years, if ever, at Edward Waters University, we are establishing university standing committees. This is just one more effort to advance towards university eminence. These committees will consist of faculty, staff, and students to provide the opportunity for diverse voices from diverse areas across the campus to advise the leadership on various aspects of university life. It is anticipated that these standing committees will promote collaboration and shared governance among the administration, the faculty, the staff, and the students, so that we are working as one team with one goal. The primary purpose of the standing committees shall be to consider and recommend actions and propose policies and procedures in the functional areas under their jurisdictions. These considerations and recommendations, of course, are subject to final approval by the President's Cabinet, the President himself, and or in some cases, the Board of Trustees. The President, the Provost, and the Executive Vice President, Chief Operating Officer will serve as ex officio members on all of the standing committees. Now, for the inauguration of our university committees, the President will make the committee appointments. Why? Because these committees shall serve the university in an advisory capacity to the President. And we hope to have these committees up and fully running, hopefully by September 15th, but no later than October 1. You will receive an appointment letter sometime this month or early next month, indicating the committee or committees you will serve on. Some people may serve on one or two committees as we move through this process. As I indicated, everyone at the university will have the opportunity to serve on at least one of these committees. When you get your appointment letter, you will also receive a list of all of the standing committees that will be operating this year, as well as an indication of who the committee chair is for this academic year. During the year, as the committees begin to operate, certainly those committees will be setting some standards for their operation and some parameters for the number of meetings you will have a year, going over your purpose and what the committee can do to fulfill that purpose. And then each year, each committee will make an annual report, which will become a part of the university record that will be housed in our Office of Institutional Effectiveness. So we are excited about these university standing committees. We know that they're going to provide great advice, good recommendations for the university as we continue to relentlessly pursue eminence at Edward Waters University. Thank you. At this time, Dr. Paul Bryant will update us on the NCAA athletics compliance. Following Dr. Bryant, we will have Dr. Sharon Burnett to give us updates on Ellucian. Dr. Bryant.
Thank you, Dr. Oliver. Good Tiger morning, everyone. Welcome to the new faculty and staff, and welcome back to the returning faculty and staff. It is my honor to announce that we have moved forward in the NCAA process to year 2 of 3. This is a true testament of the hard work of the entire institution. Remember, this is an institution designation and not just athletics. With that being said, we have to stay vigilant in doing everything right. If you know, see, or heard something that is questionable, please contact me at extension 8276 or by email at paul.bryant@ew.edu. In athletics this year, we have chosen the word focus and turned it into an acronym. And focus means finding our commitment or concentration. You can say either one, but finding our commitment until success. We're changing the mindset of how we approach this year. We're going to have a positive mindset to ensure that we're imparting our knowledge and our understanding to these new up and coming leaders of tomorrow. So I ask you to join us at one of our athletic events and just cheer on the student athletes. So let's have a positive year. Go Tigers.
Dr. Burnett, Ellucian update. Thank you, Dr. Bryant.
Good morning again. It's me. It's not Dr. Burnett just yet. I have some more giveaways. If you don't mind, I'd like to take a break for a second and introduce some of the new items that I want to give away. So we're going to start out with another EWU t-shirt. And Justin's going to pull up the wheel for me again. That's a nice one. First time I've seen that one. And again, if you guys receive a t-shirt and it's not the right size, the gift shop will take them back and provide the correct size for you. All right, I'm ready to do the spin. Let's go. Number 9. We got to go all the way to the top of that. Christian Bowers. Congratulations, Mr. Bowers. I don't know if he's with us today, but he wasn't available yesterday, but hopefully he is here. If not, we'll get it to him. Thank you very much. Okay. And the next gift is a Planet Smoothie gift card. All right. Number 160. Let's see. Who we got all the way down at the bottom? Coach Charmaine Wilson. Congratulations. Athletics is really on it today. All right. And so I got a cup here, really nice cup, the ones that keeps everything cold and hot. I don't know what to call them. But number 10. All right. Let's see who we got. Number 10. Thomas Brown, a faculty member. Mr. Brown won. All right, and then I just have one more real quick. Everybody loves this. We got a Walmart gift card. Again, you can come by the office before 5 o'clock and we'll provide your gift. Number 21 is Inez Coley. Congratulations, employees. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you, colleagues, for allowing me to give you an update on our Ellucian project. Many of you may know that we began a process in September of 2021. We executed that agreement in August of 2021, and that began the process of us implementing our colleague ERP. Next slide, please. Back one, please. So our project includes the implementation of 4 modules, data migration and mapping, project management, and of course the technical solution side. Colleague work groups and team leads have been established, and we're all working with Illusion consultants to implement our project. Of course, an implementation takes a good bit of time. I know that we like to see measures in between, but our project is scheduled to conclude around April of 2023. But of course, within that time frame, there will be iterative go-live dates for the modules throughout our project schedule. One thing that's important for us to know is that this model uses a train-the-trainer methodology. Persons will be engaging with the consultants, learning how to navigate the system, and those persons will then train others within our university community. Implementation began in October of 2021 with discovery calls for all of the modules. And in those discovery calls, it helped us to lay out the expectations, talk through some of the best practices that persons would need for the functional areas in each of the modules. Next slide, please. So the colleague modules include colleague core, colleague finance, colleague student, and colleague human resources. So finance includes the chart of accounts, accounts payables, fixed assets, budget management, project accounting, and project accounting is really for grant programs. And then finance self-service. The core sort of implies what it actually is. It's where we set up our organization and our person demographics. We put in our facilities profiles. We make sure our validation code tables are there. It's where we manage our addresses, have general remarks, and also have the personal preferences of how the university would like to have the system set up. In student, that's where we have curriculum management, admissions management, academic records and registration, billing and cash receipts, financial aid, degree audit, student planning, student self-service. Human resources includes payroll, assignment contracts, position management, HR benefits, and time and leave management. Now, one thing for us to know is finance is being implemented first. That's an important piece because finance has tentacles to all of the other sections, modules that we are implementing. We have to get our chart of accounts set up. We have to get our general ledger set up so that those other entities, HR, payroll, needs to feed into our accounting records, as well as the student records need to be able to be processed in the ledger. Core, of course, is also being worked on at the same time that finance is being worked on, because we need the data, the demographic data, in order to move the project along and have the information where finance can tie into and then hook into student as well. So that's kind of the order of those modules and where we are implementing those. Next slide, please. And so our team structures, we have some work groups pretty much following along the line of the major functional areas. We have a work group for core. We have one for admissions, human resources, registration and records, curriculum and faculty information, financial aid, of course, finance, and then the data orchestrator. All of those work groups work within the 4 modules that we talked about. And I will tell you, I want to shout out to our team members because all of them have been diligently working. You see all of those names there on the screen. And I wish you would really say thank you to any of those persons that you see today, because they have been at it for quite some time. And this has been in addition to the regular duties that they perform. They have been making themselves available to you as faculty, to students, while at the same time bringing up this implementation plan. And so a shout out to all of these members who have been really putting in a lot of work and a lot of time with this implementation project of Colleague. And so thanks to all of them. And we want to make sure that we let them know that the value of their services, we greatly appreciate it. Next slide, please. And so where are we now? Well, our first go live date was July 1, 2021 I'm sorry, that should be 2022 for finance. We didn't exactly make that date, but we've kind of adjusted the plan so that we will make sure that we do that by the end of August. And we will. We have to meet that deadline, and we feel comfortable about that. Some of the things that have impacted being able to meet that deadline is the testing of soft docs, this check printing and purchase order templates. Of course, we need to make sure that we're able to print checks and print purchase orders in finance. And so soft docs is another product that will be integrated with the Colleague process to make sure that we're able to print our branded checks and branded purchase orders. We will do some correction of the mapping of certain general ledger accounts number. In any implementation, you go through a test phase, we build the system, and you have to test things to see if it works appropriately. And so with some of that testing, we found that we need to remap some of the account numbers so that it will impact the general ledger in the way that it should, and have the expectation of posting in the accounting records in the manner that it should. We also will have to get the budget file from Great Plains, our current accounting system. That information needs to be transferred over to the Colleague system. And what we'll need to do then is set up our general ledger roles, our users and approvals. That will allow us to be able to do all of the approvals in our Colleague system. We'll hear more about the self-service where we can do that as well. And then one of the other large things that I'd like for this group to focus on is the training for requisition initiators and payment request initiators and those who approve. What we want to do is make sure that you have been properly trained. We can implement this system, and on the back end, we can understand it well, but the value of it is how we translate that information to you and allow you to be able to self-serve yourself from the portals. And again, reduce some of the manual paper that we do in our processing now. Well, once we're able to do that, we can load everything to the general ledger, and we'll have that ready to go. We're also working with admissions to interface the application with TargetX, and there are some other Ethos integrations that we're making with products that will need to tie into Colleague. We're working on the core build and as well as our LDAP user creation. That is where we will put all of our users in the system with the proper securities and authorities. So that's kind of where we are now. Here are some of the challenges that we have had along the way. Again, some of the team structure, changes on our project management team. And so with our team structures, we are going to take a look at whether or not we have the appropriate persons on the team. And so some of the size of our teams may not be where we want it to be. We've had changes on our project team, not just on the university side, but as well on the Colleague side. We've had some changes in our project managers and other staff assigned to implement the modules. And so that has presented some challenges as we try to transfer the knowledge and not start again each time. And then in some of our functional areas and staff size, that is really why I wanted to give so many kudos to the staff who are already working. Because of the staff in the in our functional areas, it makes it a little difficult for them to spend right now what has been set up as 3-day modules every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They're engaged almost all day in training with Ellucian, but at the same time, they have to manage the demands of their respective offices. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. And so the time commitment and that training module is what we are looking at there also as the challenges. And then some of the project deadlines, like I say, our first go live, we've not quite hit that. Given our size, as well as our IT staff size, we've not been able to function in the most efficient way and meet all of the aggressive deadlines that have been set as part of our project plan. Next slide, please. But we have some strategies. I want to say that Dr. West has come on board and again, jumping right into this process optimization. And some of the things that we plan to do is we're going to develop a new timeline for go live for our finance. And we have already done that. We feel comfortable that we will make that happen. We're going to be adjusting the training module, that will be more suited to our institution size and our staffing size. And I know that some of those persons in the work groups will be glad to hear that information is forthcoming, but we're having discussions with the Ellucian persons to make sure that it can meet our need as our institution according to our size, not just the framework that they have been accustomed to providing for all of their customers. And so we're also going to be re-examining the team membership. We want to make sure that the right people are on the right team, getting the right information. Some of the engagement has been because persons may not have understood, why am I participating in this team? We're looking to revisit the team orientation, as well as revisiting with the team leads in order to clarify that and make sure that the team membership looks appropriate according to function and need of that particular exercise in the implementation plan. One of the things we've also talked about is identifying a training room where the persons who are engaged in training can have their full focus on the training. It's been difficult for them to manage their office, work in their office, meet the needs there, as well as address the persons who are coming in the office. And so we're going to look to see if we can have a model where they can remove themselves from the work environment and go to a dedicated room for training, so that we can be sure that the trainers are being well trained, so that they will be able to effectively train the rest of us at the university. And so we're going to have some increased use of our project implementation and learning guides. These resources have been available to us on our project site, but again, given the time and the constraints of staffing, we've not. We're looking to make sure that we streamline that process so that as each engagement comes up each week, persons will have an abbreviated guide to understand what the focus is for that particular session. We're also going to be developing the appropriate hierarchy for decision points in the process. One thing that we have been sure to say is we want to make sure that we build this system on a best practice model. We don't want to have the same concerns or process improvement needed once we complete this system. So what that means is those work groups and those teams have to escalate decision points up to the appropriate hierarchy. And we think that we've not had that as clearly understood as we should. And so we're going to make sure that happens to ensure that we get the best bang from the colleague product. Next slide, please. And so what's coming your way? We'd like to make sure that you know that you'll get some information requests about the areas, your area experts. What we want to do is have that information help us reformulate our teams. And so we're going to ask you questions about who's the best person to do certain functions within your area so that we can configure the teams in the most efficient manner. Please look for some mandatory training for initiators of requisitions and payment requests. Mr. Walker and Mr. Simfukwe are going to make those tests training centers available for you. But please, please, please look for that, because we want you to be able to reap the benefit of this new colleague system. You will also have a lot of training for self-service modules. There'll be one for finance, budget, student, and human resources. Self-service will allow you to go into the system and do things automatically that you've previously had to wait, go to offices, or process paper to accomplish those things. So we'll want to make sure so that you can enjoy the benefits of the Ellucian system, that we train everyone on all of the self-service modules. So that's kind of where we are. Thank you for the opportunity to update you on the project.
Thank you so much, Dr. Burnett. I'm sure my colleagues appreciate that update so that they could learn that the momentum is still there and that we are working towards getting this product implemented to make our work a lot easier. Thank you so much. Well, colleagues, we're about halfway of our morning session, so I think it's a good time right now to take about a 5-minute break, and then we will come back for the last half. I think we should return at about 10:15. I have 10:10 now, so that would give everyone about 5 minutes. So please, let's take a break and let's resume promptly at 10:15. Well, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I have the wonderful pleasure and the distinct honor of presenting our leader, the captain of the ship, the pilot of the plane, a leader who is known not only by the dynamic words he speaks, but by the actions he takes. He is a leader of great vision, a leader who has brilliantly worked to get the provision necessary to ensure the commencement of our vision, for he knows, as we do, that without vision, the people perish. And without provision, the vision will never be realized. Edward Waters University shall not perish under the leadership and guidance of this president and chief executive officer, as he is a leader of action, not position. He is inspiring and empowering. He is our team captain, and he is committed to comprehensively advancing the overall competitive profile of Edward Waters University. He is totally committed, totally sold out, and has at his core the very specific intention to amalgamate the high acumen and abilities currently existing amongst our institutional stakeholders with newly developed ideas, frameworks, and an expanded organizational capacity marked by innovation and a demonstrable record of effectiveness for producing student success. He has never wavered in his hardcore determination to globally heighten the academic, programmatic, capital infrastructural, financial, and operational profile of Edward Waters as a more viable competitor in the higher education landscape since his arrival in July of 2018. He is truly a bulldog when it comes to the relentless pursuit of eminence at the Edward Waters University. So, my friends and colleagues, after the musical selection by our former chair of the Department of Music and Fine Arts, and we welcome warmly Dr. Lucy Chen, she will be accompanied by a very special guest, one of her students, Mr. William Bell, who is a student from Riverside High School. After their performance, I ask that you please welcome our bold, bodacious, and brilliant president, the first president of Edward Waters University, the Dr. A. Zachary Faison Jr. And now for the musical selection.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning to the entire faculty, staff, and students here at Edward Waters University. First, certainly want to thank Dr. Chin. It's good to see Dr. Chin again, and certainly the wonderful musical selection by Mr. William Bell, our student from Riverside High School. Certainly thank you, Provost, for that wonderful introduction. And again, I am just so very excited to welcome all of our faculty, returning and new faculty, as well as our staff, returning staff and new staff that have joined our Tiger family to the opening of this new academic year at Edward Waters University. I want to first share that Edward Waters University is in perhaps the strongest position that it has been in quite some time. And that's not hyperbole. And some of that, some of the details of where we are globally as an institution, I'm looking forward to sharing later in my presentation this morning. But again, I just want to share how exciting it is to be with you in opening this new academic year. This is a time still of great transformation, but also a time that's filled with promise for the future, the propitious future of Edward Waters University. And I am so blessed to have the opportunity to lead in partnership with you as we continue to do the phenomenal work that we do in educating young people, shaping minds for the future here at Edward Waters University. As many of you all know, one of the mantras in which this administration leads is found in the scriptures at Philippians 1:6. And that scripture simply says that being confident in this very thing, that he that hath begun a good work in you shall carry it on to its completion until the day of Christ Jesus. And certainly we believe that Edward Waters University is not just a good work, but as I always say, Edward Waters University is a God work. And so again, I am so appreciative of you for all of your hard work and your commitment to Edward Waters University. Well, I want to start this morning with this State of the University address by giving you some very relevant updates with regard to different developments that are taking place here at our university. I know you've seen some new faces this morning, so I'll start there. I know you may have informally met Dr. Sharon T. Burnett, but I want to formally introduce her to our Tiger family. Dr. Sharon T. Burnett joined us in the spring, late spring, since the last time we've had an opportunity to convene together as a collective family, as our new Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. She comes to us with a very robust resume of experiences, and certainly she is going to be giving leadership in particular to members of the cabinet and globally here at our university. And so we are very excited to have welcomed Dr. Sharon T. Burnett as our new Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. You also heard this morning from Dr. Michael T. West. Dr. Michael T. West. We are so excited. Dr. West just joined us last month in July as our new Vice President for Institutional Effectiveness, Operations, Systems Management, and Process Optimization. He also comes with an extensive resume of experience in administration, in higher education, and we are delighted to welcome Dr. Michael T. West to our university. He is going to be working with many of you all, as you all heard his presentation earlier, as we begin to flesh out some of the details of our strategic plan as we look forward to 2025 and even before our compliance certification report that's due in September of 2024 for our decennial reaffirmation of accreditation here at Edward Waters University. So we look forward to Dr. West and his leadership going forward. We also, in our academic administrative leadership, welcomed last month Dr. Melinda Wilson Swoop, who has joined us as our new Associate Provost for Academic Affairs. And we are delighted to have Dr. Swoop to join our Tiger family, and particularly in our academic administrative unit. I know that many of our faculty will be delighted to get to know her. She's looking forward to working with you. Again, she comes with extensive experience particularly in academic administration, as well as a faculty member She served as a former SAC COC liaison. And so again, as we're gearing up for our decennial reaffirmation of accreditation process, she will be, of course, working in tandem with our provost and Dr. West and all of us around the university as we prepare to do the things necessary to ensure that we have a successful reaffirmation of accreditation. I know it sounds that's a long way away, but it really is not, colleagues. It's not a long way away at all. We have to start, and we have begun putting the things in place to prepare for that. And certainly we're looking forward to Dr. Swoop's leadership and her partnership as we continue to make substantial progress in the Division of Academic Affairs. So welcome to Dr. Swoop, Dr. West, as well as to Dr. Burnett. Just want to share some information. You know, whenever you add new administrators, folks think, well, you must have gotten bigger. You've added 3 or 4 more folks to your cabinet, to your administration. No, I want to remind you, as you can see here, our cabinet senior level administrators number stays the same as was the previous administration. We have our president, of course, our executive VP, our provost, VP of Student Success and Engagement, VP of Enrollment Management, Institutional Advancement, Athletics, Finance, and then certainly now Dr. West, our VP for Institutional Effectiveness. So our senior leadership number in terms of the composition has shifted some, but the number of senior leadership that are part of our senior administration has remained the same. And we look forward to continuing to do our work in providing the leadership globally across the university. Well, as you all know, we adopted our Eminence 2025 vision and plan for our university some now about 2 or 3 years ago in 2020. And so you heard earlier the timeline with which Dr. West is going to be re-engaging some of our constituencies as we begin to detail some of the attendant pieces to that. But just as a reminder, there are 4 pillars with which undergird the vision for Edward Waters University and our future. The first of which certainly I want to acknowledge the leadership of our provost, our faculty that have worked very diligently in helping us to begin the work of accomplishing our first goal, which was to enhance the academic profile of Edward Waters University by comprehensively inaugurating a competitive 21st century academic program of superlative excellence. Secondly, creating financial viability, which you're going to hear more about. Certainly, many of you know where we were when this administration arrived in 2018 and where we are today in terms of our financial viability, in terms of being able to develop and implement a sustainable and progressive institutional business model to undergird the financial posterity of our institution. Thirdly, fostering a genuine student-centered culture that's essentially rooted in student leadership and development, student success and service, and student engagement and achievement, which is certainly at the core of everything we do. And finally, engendering a culture of institutional philanthropic support and establishing the Edward Waters brand as a best-in-class institution of distinction and emerging eminence. And so those are the pillars that guide us. And so I want to share with you just over the past year, the progress that you have made, that we have made towards bringing these aspirant goals to fruition. And so if we start in academic affairs, as a part of our level change from a level 2 baccalaureate to a level 3 master's degree granting institution, which you all will recall, we're celebrating about our year anniversary from moving from Edward Waters College to Edward Waters University. Subsequent to that, SAC COC required a visit to our campus. Once the MBA program, our Master's of Business Administration program, was approved back last June, there was a visit that we had to host this past spring. And so in February, we had a virtual on-site visit. Obviously, the pandemic is still impacting how visits are conducted, but we had an on-site visit, but it was a virtual on-site visit with introductions from the SAC COC site visit, their committee and 4 team members, which was followed by introductory remarks from me, as well as various EWU administrators, as well as our vice president, Dr. Denise Young, who's our SAC COC vice president. I want to share as an update that during that exit conference, the EWU administration was notified by the site visit committee that we were approved with 0 recommendations. 0 recommendations. And so this site visit was virtual. And so now an in-person verification visit will be taking place in late September. I think the chair of our committee will be visiting with our provost and some of our students and some of our graduate programs and various other persons around the institution. But again, the program and the site visit was approved with 0 recommendations. So I certainly want to acknowledge the leadership of our provost, our faculty, and our students that are in our MBA program for a job extremely, extremely well done. Extremely well done. As an additional update, our Master of Arts in Education Policy and Advocacy degree program, I'm very pleased to report, was approved by SAC-COC at this past during this past summer at the June 2022 meeting. The SAC-COC Board of Trustees reviewed our proposal and did approve the Master of Arts in Education Policy and Advocacy. And so we are excited, very excited about that. And the program will now enroll its first students this coming fall semester. So kudos to all of the faculty, all of the academic administration, certainly our provost, everyone that had a part in making this possible. We are excited now that we now have our second master's degree program here at Edward Waters University, the Master of Arts in Education Policy and Advocacy. We are so very excited about that. And again, we are enrolling students this fall. So if you know of anyone in your family or in your circles of influence, your spheres of influence that might have an interest in the Master of Arts in Educational Policy and Advocacy, please encourage them to apply today. But we are so excited to now have the second master's degree program here at Edward Waters University. And so as we talk about academic degree program expansion, I want to just really kind of further explore where we have been, where we are today, and where it is that we plan and how it is we plan to move. And so what you see before you is going back to 2018, the number of academic degree programs we had in total, the number of graduate degree programs, and it really takes you again from 2018 to the present. Now in 2022, we're back up to 8 total degree programs, 6 undergraduate, 2 graduate, and then our plans as we move forward to 2023. And our next slide will kind of delineate specifically what our plans are and the recommendations that were made by this administration to the board, which were approved by our board in May of 2022. And so as many of you all know, we did also earn the approval for our Bachelor of Science in Forensic Science back in December. And certainly want to thank Mr. Giannis and all of the faculty, as well as the academic administration that were part of that. So that program was approved back in December of 2021, and we will enroll students in that program beginning this month, this fall. So we're excited about our new Bachelor of Science degree program in Forensic Science. I just shared with you the approval of our Master of Arts in Educational Policy and Advocacy, which was approved in June, which also will be enrolling students for the very first time this month here in August. We also have submitted to SAC-COC last month the prospectus for the Bachelor of Social Work degree program here at Edward Waters. So that program was approved by our board, and we now have subsequently submitted that to SAC-COC as of last month, and we look forward to hearing from SAC-COC in terms of their ruling later this semester in December. And when we hear in December, we're keeping our fingers crossed, our toes crossed, and everything else that will be successful, that SAC-COC will rule in our favor. And our intention then would be to enroll students in that new degree program next August for the Bachelor of Science in Social Work. What you see next is a Master of Science in Cybersecurity, a Master of Science in Cybersecurity. We're looking forward to submitting the prospectus for that program this coming December, and then also hearing back from SACS in June of 2023, and then also being able to enroll students in that program next August. And so that's the Master of Science in Cybersecurity, also the Master of Public Administration. We also are looking forward to submitting that prospectus to SAC-COC in December of 2022. Again, hearing back from SAC-COC in 2023, and then implementing that new degree program in August of 2023. Then back at the undergraduate level, the Bachelor of Science in Computer and Information Science, that program is also scheduled. We're hoping to be able to submit that to SACS this December. Again, ruling in June and implementation next August. And then finally, our Bachelor of Public Health, the Bachelor of Public Health, also to be submitted this December, submitted in June, and then implemented in August of 2023. So let me just pause for one moment, though, and give you some context here. So as you can see, this is a pretty rapid movement, and we're excited, that our faculty in particular are excited, and our staff, and just the entire university, our board, everyone is excited that we're at a place that we can chart this kind of prolific and transformative growth. But one of the things that we have to make sure that we keep our eyes on is our reaffirmation of accreditation, our 10-year decennial reaffirmation of accreditation, which for the edification of our faculty and our staff, our compliance certification report is due in September of 2024. September of 2024. And so what our vice president at SAC-COC has said to us very directly is that once you, Edward Waters University, you follow this timeline that you have right now, we strongly advise that you place a moratorium at this point on trying to add any more new degree programs until you have completed the decennial SAC-COC reaffirmation of accreditation process, because it will be a recipe for disaster for you to be trying to manage site visits, substantive change kinds of work, which is very, very tedious work, very takes a lot of effort and a lot of work and time to go through that process for this many programs. And then at the same time, we're asking the leadership in IE, as well as the university globally, to be gearing up and planning for what everyone knows is a daunting process with regard to the 10-year reaffirmation of accreditation process that, again, is now only about 24 months away. And so we are now going to move in this direction. It does not necessarily mean that we will not be adding more programs. We're excited to add more programs, assuming that they are, again, that they're market relevant, that they also are supported by dollars, that we as the institution have the financial wherewithal to undergird the promulgation of additional programs. And so we have to make sure that we're in tandem from a financial perspective in terms of, are there dollars existing to support more programs? Are these new programs and more programs market relevant? And also balancing that with our timetable relative to reaffirmation of accreditation for our university, which of course we know is the silver lining, the most important thing that we always have to keep our eyes on when it comes to SAC-COC. And so that's where we are. This is the plan that we have in place to move forward. And again, I want to reiterate, the spigot is not closed. We don't intend that this is all that there's going to be. I know that there are many ideas out there about other programs, but we have to make sure that those programs, again, are market relevant. And market relevant doesn't mean per se that our personal feeling about it. I'm an English major. I love English. I think English is great, but it's not necessarily the most market relevant program. I'll just use that as an example for me personally. So we got to make sure that they're market relevant. We've got to make sure that the finances are there to support it. And then again, we have to also balance the promulgation of these programs with our process relative to SAC-COC. And we have been advised very strongly to put a moratorium on any new degree programs because of the fact that we are coming right up against needing to get all of our information in and preparing globally for our reaffirmation of accreditation. So I hope you all can get a sense of where we're going as an institution. All of this is very exciting. If we go back to the previous slide, so our intention is by 2023, we would have 13 degree programs at Edward Waters University, 9 undergraduate programs and 4 graduate programs. And so that would certainly have pushed us in terms of expanding our academic profile, helping to really build the competitiveness of our programs, and certainly make us more competitive in terms of the varied degree programs that we can offer to prospective students. And so again, this is our timeline, this is our plan, and we look forward to having your engagement and support towards that end. I'm also very pleased to share that last summer, some of you all might recall that the university received notification from the Jessie Ball DuPont Fund that they approved $200,000 in initial funding towards the establishment of the A. Philip Randolph Institute for Law, Race, Social Justice, and Economic Policy here at Edward Waters University. And so we are already engaged in seeking additional funding to support that institute. But one of the principal things that we had to do first was to identify a leader that's going to be charged with helping us to solicit that additional funding, but also charged with helping us to carry out the aims of the institute. And so I'm very, very pleased to share that we did find a great leader, I think, in the form of Dr. Tamika Bradley Hobbs, who joined us as well this past spring. And certainly I know some of you all have already had some interaction with Dr. Hobbs, and we are so excited to have her as our inaugural executive director for the A. Philip Randolph Institute for Law, Race, Social Justice, and Economic Policy. She comes to us most recently from Florida Memorial University, where she was the Associate Provost for Academic Affairs and Director of their Social Justice Institute. She also has served as a member of the faculty at Florida Memorial and other institutions as well. And so again, we are very, very pleased to welcome Dr. Tamika Bradley Hobbs to our university. Again, some of you all may have met her. She joined last spring, but I wanted to be able to formally introduce her at this time. And so we're, again, very excited to welcome Dr. Hobbs and look forward to her great leadership of our A. Philip Randolph Institute. I'm also very, very pleased. I want to acknowledge the tremendous work of our faculty. And so this past year, it was shared with me, I got information about some of the outstanding work that's being done by Dr. Brian Seymour, who is our professor of immunology, as he was invited to present at the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology at their annual meeting, which was held this past spring in February. And he gave a presentation that was entitled Airborne Pollen Reached Severe Levels During the Spring Season in an Underserved Community with High Asthma Rates in Jacksonville, Florida. His research focused on the high pollen counts in Jacksonville and Duval County and the effect that those pollen counts have on those with pre-existing and other health conditions. And so, I mean, it just gives me great pleasure to acknowledge the tremendous work of our faculty and Dr. Seymour. Additionally, Dr. Seymour received certification as a station master with the National Allergen Bureau of the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. And relatedly, I want everyone to know that Edward Waters University now has an official pollen counting station that serves all of Northeast Florida. So, you know, when you're watching the news and they say the pollen count is at this level or at that level, well, Edward Waters University now has the official pollen counting station with which that information is provided. And so that is certainly a positive mark for our university. And I want to personally thank Dr. Seymour for his tremendous scholarship and his tremendous work in this particular discipline in his field. So kudos again to Dr. Brian Seymour. I'd also like to share some of the advancing work that we see in academic affairs amongst our faculty with regard to the number of faculty that have the terminal degree, that have doctoral degrees. Our percentage has risen by 8.2% since 2019. We now are at about almost 70%, 67% of our faculty that have the doctoral or terminal degrees. And so we're excited about that. Our ultimate goal is 85%. Our ultimate goal is 85%. And I have some information that I'm going to share later on today with our faculty towards how the university might be able to assist in helping more of our faculty to earn their terminal degrees. But we are excited about the progress that our faculty are making and that our academic leadership is supporting them in making in terms of increasing the number of faculty at our university that have the doctoral or terminal degrees. And so, again, kudos certainly to our faculty and to our academic leadership in helping to inculcate an environment where we want our faculty to have all of the necessary credentials to really do the scholarly work that they're tasked with doing. So certainly we are very excited about that as we continue to enhance our academic profile. Kind of want to share summatively just all the work, as again, this is the first pillar of our strategic plan in terms of inaugurating that competitive academic profile here at our institution. The fact that since 2018, that under the leadership of our provost and academic affairs administration and our faculty, that we achieved our 5th year reaffirmation of accreditation, which was a significant win for our institution with no recommendations, that we've been able to offer the first online degree program, which was the Bachelor of Business Administration with the concentration in organizational management. That was the institution's first online degree program that we've been now approved by SAC-COC to offer the Bachelor of Science in Forensic Science and the Masters of Business Administration program, which according to SACS, this was not according to me, but according to SACS, that addition of the MBA, that first new degree program, was the first new SAC-COC approved new degree program at the institution in 46 years. And so that's quite an accomplishment that we should all be very, very proud of. That we are approved for a level change from a level 2 baccalaureate institution to now a level 3 Carnegie Master's institution. Again, historic transformation that was accomplished by you. Establishing our Office of Distance Education and Learning, increasing our faculty grant award from $5 million in 2018 to $2 million in 2022. This was work that was done by our faculty and by our academic administrative leadership. So again, this is reflective of the work that you have done. Established our Honors College, the first time back in 2019, we established our Honors College with grant funds from the Jesse Ball DuPont Foundation. And those students now are going on and doing outstanding work. We had one student that I know that's going to get the PhD. That was our salutatorian this year at Penn University. Another student that I know spent the summer and is still there at Cornell University. That are coming through these programs with our Honors College. So again, just a phenomenal development in terms of our transformation of our academic enterprise. Certainly the establishment of our Center for Undergraduate Research. You heard me speak earlier about our A. Philip Randolph Institute, outfitting all of our classrooms with smart technology. And then you heard earlier about our increase in terms of the percentage of doctoral degree faculty. So again, the university is stronger now than it certainly perhaps has ever been from an academic perspective. And we are certainly very excited about the great work that our faculty are doing, the great work that our academic administrative leadership is leading, and we look forward to even greater accomplishments as we move toward this new academic year and the future. And so our second strategic goal, as you all know, we have had a laser focus on creating greater financial viability through the development and implementation of a sustainable and progressive institutional business model. And it's no secret that When we first came to the institution, I shared two things. I said there are two primary drivers of revenue at private institutions like Edward Waters University. Their enrollment and their fundraising. And the primary driver is enrollment. That's just a fact. It might not be something that everyone philosophically wants to agree with, but it's a fact that you have to focus very solely, very keenly on the growth of your institution through the lens of enrollment first, and secondly, through your philanthropic work at small private institutions. We live and die by our enrollment. And so towards that end, I want to share some information in terms of what we've done to buttress that and give you some updates in that regard. As many of you all know, last year, we had a record-breaking year in terms of our overall student enrollment. We welcomed in 540 new students, which was the highest number of new students on record here at the university, with an overall enrollment of right at 1,110 students, which is a nearly 20% increase in the overall number of students from an enrollment perspective that the university has seen. It's also was the highest enrollment the university had seen in almost 2 decades. And so to give you an update of where we are today, last year we received in total about 6,147 applications. This year, our applications have grown by another 44.69%. This year, we have received 8,894 applications. And this is certainly driven by the leadership of Dr. Price and Mr. Dunklin and our entire admissions team, but also in tandem with our EAB partnership. And through that partnership, we've been able to garner about 2,394 applications, 26.9% of our freshman applicant pool. And so holistically, the Office of Admissions has also been able to grow the number of admits by about 49%. So as you can see here to this chart, you can see how we've grown in terms of in 2020, the number of total applications, the number of acceptances. And so we are again experiencing phenomenal growth as we look over a record year last year. We are on track now to not too much pressure, Dr. Price, but obliterate what we did last year. If you see these numbers in terms of how we are growing, we are growing at an exponential rate. And so I want for our faculty and our staff, when you're in your churches, when you're in your schools, when you're with your family, let them know, tell them the truth, tell them the good news about Edward Waters. And that good news is that Edward Waters University is the fastest growing HBCU in this state. No other HBCU, not FAMU, not Bethune, not Florida Memorial, has experienced this level of growth since 2019. We're also the fastest growing college or university in Jacksonville, the fastest growing college or university in Jacksonville. So please share that good news, share that very good news. And that good news is certainly made possible by the work that you do to make this a place that's attractive for prospective students. So again, we are looking forward to having a banner year with regard to our enrollment. As we move now to our deposits, our net deposits. I think we're having some trouble with it coming up on the screen. Net deposits. And we get that coming up. Looks like it's a little stuff. Oh, it was there. All right. Nope. Well, our net deposits are up. I will share that as they're working through the technology here. Our net deposits are up. I know some folks will recall when we put this in place, they said, well, our students won't do deposits. You can't do deposits here. I said, no, we got to do deposits. We have to do deposits. We have to have some way of measuring who do we expect to be here come the fall. And our deposits have grown significantly. Our first year, we had 350 deposits, 536 to date last year. And this year, we're at 547 deposits to date. And so we are excited. As some of you all know, we had student athletes and band and choir and some other students that checked in earlier this week, and we're looking forward to welcoming our new students upcoming this weekend, as well as our returning students thereafter. So all of our data indicates, again, that we should have another record year in terms of enrollment. And so we're excited that all of our numbers, applications, acceptances, as well as deposits are up. I don't think we have the data on this slide, but I'll share it. Our returning number is also very high. Dr. Price just put in the chat 566. So our deposits are actually up to 566. So we're nearing 600 deposits for new students. I'll share this as information that our returning student number is also already exceeded where our final returning number was last year. I think our final returning number last year was around 570 some odd students. We're already up to, at least at my last check, over 610 returning students that are already registered and back for the fall. So again, if you kind of take those two ends to meet, we're nearing 1,200 some odd students for this year. So we are growing at an exponential rate. We're growing at an exponential rate, and we're certainly excited about the growth and interest that we're seeing here at Edward Waters University. So as a part of that, in terms of improving that financial viability, primarily through our student recruitment efforts and our admissions efforts, for to date, we have 33 graduate applications for fall 2022, with 10 of these having already been admitted. I know that many of them are still working through the admissions process. We also launched, some of you all may have seen, we also launched, again, similar to what we did last year. If we go back to the slide before that, we've launched a very aggressive summer recruitment campaign to support our enrollment. Some of those campaign pieces are airport advertising, television commercials. So some of you all may have seen some television commercials that began airing about a week or two ago, digital billboards throughout the city, as well as other electronic media placements. So we are really doing all we can from a marketing perspective to really market the university and market what we're doing. What you see here is if you come through the airport there in Jacksonville, everyone knows there's one exit terminal. And when you pass through that exit terminal, you cannot miss Edward Waters University as we're marketing our programs, our MBA program. And then if you walk even through some of the other places in the terminal, you will see Edward Waters University prominently displayed throughout the airport. Again, we have television commercials. So again, I want to give a lot of credit to Dr. Price, certainly Mr. Justin Walker, and everyone that has had a part in helping us to brand our institution as we look to aggressively recruit students to our university, which we're seeing the payoff from that, as I shared with you earlier, in terms of the information or the data relative to the increased interest in applications, admits, and deposits that are taking place here at our university. Here, one of our billboards, when you're driving down 95, you'll see these digital billboards. So again, just aggressive and robust marketing of our institution, which, as I mentioned, is helping to lead to and buttress our overall growth as a university.
Edward Waters University offers education with your goals in mind, giving you a stronger today. We offer 6 undergraduate degree programs in business administration, communications, biology, criminal justice, psychology, and our newest degree program in forensic science, where you can experience real-life, hands-on mock crime scenes and learn in a state-of-the-art forensic DNA laboratory. Visit ew.edu to enroll today. Edward Waters University, emerging eminence. Edward Waters University offers education with your goals in mind, giving you a stronger today. Under the guidance of our accomplished faculty, the Master of Education Policy and Advocacy program empowers you to explore issues and concerns within the education system that are important to you. Plus, you can earn your Master of Education Policy and Advocacy degree 100% online. Visit ew.edu to enroll today. Edward Waters University, emerging eminence. Edward Waters University offers education with your goals in mind, giving you a stronger today. We are Florida's most affordable HBCU online MBA program, and it's 100% online. Plus, you can earn that degree in as little as 12 months. You'll focus on timely knowledge leading to career success and advancement, including immersion in real-world problems and leadership practice. Visit ew.edu to enroll today. Edward Waters University, emerging eminence.
And so all three of those commercials that we just showed are actually, they're airing now. They are on television now on First Coast News, the ABC and NBC affiliate here in Jacksonville. And each one of those focuses on different programs. One focuses on our new forensic science program, the other on our MPA as well as our MBA programs. And so, again, we are excited to be aggressively showcasing the outstanding programs here at our university. And so, again, if you're watching the news, please check those out. So I want to talk a little bit about where we are from a financial perspective. I'm excited to share that for the third consecutive year, the university closed out our fiscal year out of the red, and we achieved a year-end net operating surplus, which, again, I'm going to always highlight that because we know from whence we've come. Having suffered under a decade of multi-million-dollar net operating deficits, going all the way through fiscal year 2020. And so we're excited. This is where we've been and where we are today in terms of those deficits and where we projected to be today. So we're excited about that. Next slide. And so I want to also share where we are in terms of our audits. This is very important, particularly when we talk about the financial solvency, and the audit will measure how you go about doing the business of the institution. And so our single A133 audit was completed last fall, and I'm pleased to share that there were no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies or non-compliance material to the material statements. And so I certainly want to thank Mr. Randolph Mitchell and our entire finance team with regard to making sure that we were able to complete our audit and do it in a way where there were no material weaknesses. And we also were able to maintain our standing as a low-risk auditee for federal purposes. That is critically important. If you become out of low risk, then you can get on cash monitoring and all other kinds of things that we don't want to get into, which is not a positive thing, particularly for private institutions. And so we are strong in that regard. And certainly as Mr. Mitchell and his team close out our fiscal year that just passed, we look forward to timely submitting our audit again for this year. And we look forward to having another audit that indicates no material weaknesses, and certainly we intend to maintain our status as a low-risk auditee for this upcoming year. So excited to share that as an update. Also, in February, many of you all know, late February, I think it was early March, when we actually had the announcement and ceremony that we executed a new contract with Sodexo Magic, which is a Magic Johnson partnership. And this partnership promises to really transform the dining service experience for our students. One of the things that our students have been sharing with me since 2018 is their vehement displeasure with the food services that we offer to our students on our campus. Not just the food services, but even the dining experience. Even our faculty and staff has shared the same with me, that there really was that we needed a change, in terms of upgrading our service, primarily to our students, but also to our faculty and staff as well. And so we're excited to announce this new partnership with Sodexo Magic that will bring a number of transformational kinds of new changes to the dining experience for our students, our faculty, and our staff, amongst which are about a $2.2 million renovation of our dining facility, which has not seen any kind of major multi-million-dollar renovation since the mid to late 70s, so over 40 plus years. they're also doing scholarship dollars, concessions, in-kind funds we're giving to our Student Government Association, so our students can have access to food and funds to help to fund many of their events. So we're very excited about this partnership and look forward. One of the things that's also great is that we'll have a faculty and staff dining area in the dining hall. We also have an elevator. I know right now you have to access it from the outside. So if it's raining or, if you don't want to take steps, it's just not an environment that's conducive in terms of its accessibility for our faculty, staff, and students. So again, we're very excited about this project and really, really look forward to it being another piece in the global transformation of our institution.
Good afternoon. I'm Irvin Magic Johnson. And on behalf of the entire Sodexo Magic team, we are so excited about our new partnership with Edward Waters University.
We are so excited today to announce our new partnership with Sodexo Magic. Let's give that a round of applause.
I'm sure everyone's hungry. Can you smell anything good?
All right, so this some brisket pasta, y'all. It tastes so good. Like, made my mouth water. I'm so excited. It's good.
This is not lunch, this is a tasting. Okay, so don't get a big plate. We have a lot of people and you want to taste the food, get a sample of it, but please enjoy it.
So good, just make you a cha-cha.
This is the first multi-million-dollar renovation that this facility will have seen since 1971. Okay.
Join me in welcoming Madam Chef G. Garner.
We're going to really work with you to make sure that when you come to campus, that you leave the dining to us, and you get to focus on the education, because God knows we need new leaders in the world, right? We need you guys not to change the world, but to change the people in it. So it's our job to make sure that you are fed properly and you're nourished, so you're not falling asleep in class and not leaving campus to go to Chick-fil-A. Anything you want, we're going to have it right here.
For our students and allow them to be benefited from this amazing partnership. And we pray that after all has been said, we'll be able to say, bread of heaven, feed us till we want no more. Amen.
So we are really, really excited about the onboarding of Sodexo Magic. They now have officially onboarded here at the university. Another thing I'll mention that's really exciting for our students is we're going to also be adding a Tiger grill, that will be part and parcel to the dining offerings for our students. Many of you all know, or maybe you all were healthy eaters in college, but I wasn't. And so after about 6 or 7 o'clock, I would get hungry at 9, 10, 11 o'clock and want to eat again. And so formerly, all of our dining services ended at 6 or 7 o'clock. We now will have a grill that will extend into the late night. And that's particularly important for us as well, because sometimes I get a little wary of our students at nighttime traveling to the Checkers or the Popeyes and that kind of thing. So we will have a grill that will be available after hours. Students will also be able to order, and faculty and staff will also be able to order their food through an app. So you can pre-order food, go and pick it up. And again, there are just a number of different offerings that we look forward to being able to offer our students, namely, and certainly our faculty and staff as well, as a result of this new partnership with Sodexo Magic. So very, very excited about that. Again, as we kind of, still focusing on, the finance administration and business innovation area, I want to talk a little bit about some of the strategic campus capital priorities that we have around the institution. As you all know, we have been engaged in very deliberate efforts around wanting to increase the aesthetic appeal of our campus, but not just aesthetics, but also substantive changes that impact the actual experience for our students, faculty, and staff here at Edward Waters University. So we've tried to be as focused as possible in terms of spreading the impact of all of the different kinds of capital construction, renovation, and repair work that we're doing across all of our constituencies. We know that there are needs for our students. We know there are needs for faculty. We know there are needs for staff. And to be very forthright with you, many of you all know that have been here, this institution has gone for decades, literally decades, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, as much as 50 or 60 years, without the kinds of attention to upgrading and renovating facilities, classrooms, offices, residence halls that we have needed. We call it in higher education deferred maintenance. And certainly we won't be able to fix all of that in 4 years, but what we are confident that we are doing is eating that elephant, as I say, piece by piece. Rome wasn't built in a day. We won't be able to remedy all of these things that have been happening for decades in 3 or 4 years. But what we can do is show you that we are making demonstrable progress across the institution to begin to make our facilities, bring our facilities to a higher level of modernity and bring them to a place that our faculty, staff, and students can be proud of in terms of their living, learning, and working environment. So our next slide, video, okay.
With progress comes change. As we continue to emerge eminence on the campus of the Edward Waters University. I am Dr. Jamel Hodges, and I proudly serve as your Vice President for Student Success and Engagement. Come take a walk with me and see our summer progress.
One of the most historical buildings on campus, Salter Hall, completed in 1954, houses our amazing ladies here on the campus of Edward Waters University.
Here in Salter Hall, we are so proud to announce that we have new laminate flooring throughout the building. We renovated our restrooms with new fixtures, paint, tile, and flooring. We also have fresh paint throughout the building.
And our ladies of Salter Hall can look forward to brand new furniture this fall.
Morris Cone, established in 1982, has been renovated to include new fixtures, new tiling, and fresh paint within each of our restrooms.
And I'm excited to announce our future plans to purchase new furniture for Morris Cone A and B in 2023.
In Blue Honors, students can look forward to luxurious vinyl plank flooring, replaced decking, and brand new painted back porches. In 2021, when we unveiled Richardson Hall, we fully renovated 3 of the 4 units. This fall semester, we have renovated fully the restrooms of the North Wing, including new fixtures, paint, tile, and new flooring. The newly renovated residence halls foster an engaging and uplifting community environment for all of our residential students. I am so excited to welcome each of you back to the fall 22 semester. Please pardon our progress.
Hello, my name is Randolph Mitchell Jr. I serve as your Vice President for Finance, Administration, and Business Innovation here on the beautiful campus of Edward Waters University. Today, we will share with you
one of many projects going on
the Edward Waters University Community Fitness and Wellness Center. In January, the City Council of Jacksonville awarded Edward Waters University a grant of $500,000 to renovate and purchase equipment for a community wellness and fitness center here on our campus. And we are very excited because this facility will be used by our faculty, staff, and students, as well as the center will be open to the community for approximately 20 hours a week, Monday through Friday. This project will be in the home of our James Weldon Johnson building with over 99,000 square feet of space, and our old cafeteria, which is approximately 6,000 square feet of space. The center will be outfitted with the top of the line fitness and wellness equipment that includes an exercise bike, hot and cold tubs, weights, a juice bar, and many more. The facility is slated to be completed in the summer of 2022. The National Historic Society Division has awarded to EWU a total of $1 million over 2 years to maintain and make improvements to Centennial Hall. The Centennial Hall is receiving upgrades to its historic windows, the exterior, which include but are not limited to repairing and repointing bricks and cleaning the building surface. The Centennial Hall functions as the university's main library, originally built in 1916 to house a gymnasium and a number of classrooms. The Centennial Building, as it was originally referred to, was renamed in 1966 to commemorate the institution's 100th anniversary as the oldest building on campus. In 1976, it was rehabilitated for use as the college library. Today, the library contains nearly 13,000 print volumes and provide access to more than 250,000 electronic books. As a result of COVID-19, our number one priority was the safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff. The campus safety protocols and access to campus fencing and safety project became increasingly imperative. As a result of this determination, the campus fencing and safety project got underway. Within 10 zones identified on the campus for the fencing project, it will cover all academic buildings, the library, the residence halls, office buildings, the gymnasiums, parking lots, and other student social places on campus. There are over 16,000 feet of wrought iron fencing, over 209-foot brick columns through each zone, along with security monitored drive-through gates and pedestrian grate for walkways. There will also be a gateway monument entrance to the campus on both ends of Kings Road. The project is scheduled for completion fall of 2022. Please pardon our progress.
Greetings. I am Dr. Stephanie Campbell, and I humbly serve as the Dean of Operations and Academic Support Services of Academic Affairs for Edward Waters University. We are eager to highlight details of one of our major projects to enhance the aesthetic of the university experience for our scholars and faculty, Hatcher Stewart Science and Mathematics Building. Renovation and modernization of key areas within the Hatcher Stewart Science and Mathematics Building commenced on May 18, 2022. In addition to a fresh and newly planted landscape decor, exterior enhancements will include a freshly striped and paved parking lot, brand new windows, and new HVAC system. The first floor elevator lobby and corridors will receive new luxurious vinyl plank flooring, fresh paint, and ceramic tile along elevator lobby walls. And across from the elevator, a floor-to-ceiling lift wooden lattice laced with a network of artificial ivy. A vintage wooden beam extended along the bottom of the second floor landing edge will accent the plank flooring and lattice work. Beyond the entrance, along the back wall, is an elegant vinyl wall wrapping welcoming all who enter. For those who choose to take the stairs instead of the elevator, will do so in style, ascending to the second floor by way of a glass stair rail system that segues into a modernized elevator lobby and corridors finished with the same fresh paint and luxurious vinyl plank flooring as the first floor. The entire building, including halls and classrooms, is illuminated with energy-efficient LED lighting and recessed light fixtures, complemented with crisp, white, reveal edge ceiling tile. Faculty will have the pleasure of retreating to a warm and inviting faculty lounge with the ambiance and amenities that will refresh and recharge their minds. In addition to the lounge, each faculty office received new luxury vinyl flooring, LED lighting, recessed light fixtures, fresh paint, and reveal edge ceiling tile. The university has also purchased new furniture in select academic classrooms. The newly renovated and modernized Hatcher Stewart building welcomes each student and faculty member to an atmosphere that fosters community and academic excellence. We are proud of this accomplishment and wish each student and faculty member a successful 2022-2023 academic year. Please pardon our progress.
Greetings from the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics. I am Dr. Paul A. Bryant, the Associate Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics here at the Edward Waters University. Allow me to show you some of the outstanding upgrades this summer in athletics. The scoreboard and Adams Jenkins have not changed since the erection of the building in 2005. It was outdated with screw-in bulb system. We have updated the gymnasium with a new state-of-the-art LED 16-foot video screen that will create an electrifying game day experience for the volleyball and basketball teams. It is fully digital and it integrates with the completely automated 12-foot scorers tables. Both will be able to show live videos, detailed images, and sponsors. Completion is mid-August 2022. Adding on to the multi-million-dollar Nathaniel Glover Stadium is the newly renovated Skybox on the south side of the field. This premium level is equipped with new seating, televisions, retractable windows, charging ports, air conditioning, and an accessible restroom. Not only that, the premium suite will also have a club area that will provide a true game-like experience with the comforts of exclusivity. In addition to the club and suite area, there is an eagle's eye view from the top of the suite that garners high tabletops and stools. The presidential premium suite is for donor, cultivation, and private first in-class game day experience. Completion is scheduled for this fall 2022. The existing outdoor tennis and basketball courts located near Salter Hall are being totally reconstructed. The basketball courts will be torn up and moved to a new and more appropriate location behind Morris Cone. It will be completely paved with regulation lines and lights that will allow our students the opportunity to enjoy recreation. With the moving of the basketball courts, the existing tennis courts will be expanded to 4 courts to allow for NCAA competition. They will be regulation courts for the tennis team to call home. The tennis team will be able to host and compete in the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. The tennis and basketball court projects will be complete in the fall 2022. We humbly ask you to please pardon our progress.
Edward Waters University thanks you for partnering our progress and our relentless pursuit towards achieving eminence. Go Tigers!
I think I was on mute. I think I was on mute. what I was sharing was that, so we are very excited about all of the tremendous upgrades that are happening on our campus from an infrastructural perspective, certainly in terms of the work that we're doing to improve upon the living and learning experience for our students, certainly our faculty, the spaces with which they work and serve our students, our staff, as well as athletics, and just the global aesthetic and functional operations of our institution in terms of our fencing project to certainly augment our efforts around safety and security for our faculty, our staff, our students, our new wellness facility, which we're certainly very excited about, that will be open to our faculty and staff to be able to utilize that as we keep our bodies healthy. And so again, we're very excited about all of these infrastructural and capital developments around our institution. The library, again, $1 million there that has been allocated towards upgrading our library, bringing it into a greater level, of modernity in terms of being able to ensure that historic building, that we keep it and preserve it for future generations of students. And so again, just excited about all the growth. Does not mean that we have arrived, does not mean that all of the decades of deferred maintenance needs have been met, but we hope that you're able to see that we are in fact making progress. And certainly once these projects are completed, we look to add another slate of projects going forward this year as we again continue our efforts to move our institution forward as we progress. So as you see things, as you see, you might see cones here, you may see different things that look out of place. We ask you, and I hope you're able to get the consistent theme, to pardon our progress as we make for a better Edward Waters University. And so one of the things that I also want to share is I know that a lot of folks have been asking, well, what are y'all doing with that big space down at the stadium that's adjacent between the stadium and the gymnasium, which is known as our Tiger Plaza. And it was designed to improve the aesthetics there in that space between the sports and music complex and the stadium, and as a way to encourage the participation of vendors and guests. And so what we developed is what we're calling our Greek Row at Tiger Plaza. Some of you all may have seen these at other institutions, but we're wanting to create a gathering space that will consist of monuments representing each of the National Panhellenic Council organizations, or i.e. the Divine Nine fraternities and sororities that are chartered here on the Edward Waters campus. The monuments cost about $20,000 a piece, about $13,000 for construction, and then we're allocating about $7,000 that we want to go towards student scholarships. So we're asking each of our Divine Nine member organizations to raise the money for their monument that will be there at Greek Row. So again, if you are a member of the Divine Nine, we certainly hope that you will work with your graduate chapter and or your undergraduate chapter to begin raising the money for us to complete this Greek Row at Tiger Plaza, which we intend to be a great gathering and meeting space for members of our Divine Nine here at Edward Waters University. So we're very excited about that project. I think you all were able to see in the video what we were able to do with our athletic facility, that being our Adams Jenkins Gymnasium. We had a unveiling of that this past spring. I will tell you, it still is the envy of schools across the nation. I think it was HBCU Sports. Someone mentioned something today, and we even had folks from FAMU saying, "Oh my gosh, that is amazing." I mean, we have people all over the country that are saying that Edward Waters University has the nation's premier HBCU Division II, NCAA Division II arena and basketball court in the country. And so we're very, very excited about that. We were able to add building name signage, replace and repair some of the HVAC systems in there. We still have some work to do in that regard. I know Dr. Bryant up in the office area for our HVAC system has got to be replaced, but we've done some replacement already in terms of the main area of the gymnasium. And we also replaced the damaged and dated bleachers there. So we're excited about the work that emanated from that particular project. As many of you all know, this past spring, or if you don't know, we also were able to complete the renovation of our Tiger Student Activity Center. One of the things that students shared with me upon arrival here at Edward Waters and over the past 2 or 3 years was that other than this main kind of multi-purpose space that we have in the sub, that there really was no other space that was conducive for student activity anywhere on the campus. And so we kind of put our heads together and looked at where there was some available space. Might we be able to transform and transmogrify that space into a space that would be attractive and useful for our students in terms of them having more activity space? Obviously, as I shared with you earlier, the fact that we are growing and we have grown and are growing at an exponential rate, we have to be able to offer the kinds of student experiences to be able to retain those students. It's one thing to get them here. It's another thing to retain them. And so part and parcel to that is making sure that you have adequate spaces that are conducive to the kinds of activities that students expect to be able to participate in once they arrive on your campus. So we were able to complete a renovation of what was a formerly offline building, which, as I understand it, many years ago was a weight room. I think at one time I heard from our alums it might have been a cafeteria. It's been through a number of different iterations, but it had been offline for at least through the duration of my time here at Edward Waters. But this past year, we were able to complete a comprehensive renovation of that space and turn it into our student activity center here on our campus. And it is a beautiful facility. Our students love it. And they are engaged there. There's games there, televisions. It is a wonderful, wonderful area and space for our students to be able to have activity. So we're very excited about that. We are very delighted to be able to be joined here today for this great occasion and this ribbon cutting and ceremonial opening. So with that, I don't want to delay it. I know that we're all waiting with bated breath to see this new facility. But again, we are just so very, very excited for this day and the continued development of our campus community.
I am so grateful and blessed that Edward Waters University has blessed us with this facility to just hang back, do some homework. That's exactly, I'm gonna grab my laptop right now and probably use one of the back rooms because I need to step up and do some homework. But I love it. It gives students an area where you can't procrastinate. If you want an area to do your homework, they give you one. So thank you again, Edward Waters University. Bye!
Man, the space of it, it's amazing. It's a lot of space that we really have in the past, so it's real cool.
I'm so excited about this new space for you all as our Tigers to come in here, hang out, talk about academic success, to socialize, to play games, watch TV, a little ice hockey, whatever you want to do, this space is for you. Take care of it and enjoy. Go Tigers.
Let's go Tigers! Eat 'em up, Tigers!
So again, our students are really, really enjoying that space, and I'm pleased that we were able to offer that to those students. Before I move, I think there was a question in the chat about the current Greek spaces that are there on the campus. We're not going to do anything with those. They're going to remain. Those are historic spaces. I'm not a member of a Greek organization, but I do have enough sense to know that you don't touch or move the historic spaces that are already there. And so let me mention that all the work that we're doing is not about displacing or doing anything to disrupt or deter from the tremendous historicity of our campus and our university. It's augmenting, it's adding to, it's creating more opportunities for engagement. So the Greek Row opportunity there that you see is just to augment what already is a robust Greek life experience that we offer to our students, our faculty, our staff, and our alumni. So as we move forward in terms of the Lee Cousins Administration Building, I want to share some information in terms of some of the improvements that we're making there and have already made, improving lighting on the first floor. We have some significant HVAC issues in that building that we'll be working on going forward. We've removed the trophy case from downstairs, and I think we're trying to find space for it or a location for it down at Adam Jenkins Athletic Arena there. We've renovated some of the offices. The old financial aid and student account offices have been renovated. We're going to be installing door access and control systems there in terms of so that we can control the ingress and egress from the building from a safety and security perspective, installing cameras and intercom systems. And so again, we also have done some things to enhance the front entrance of the building. You all can kind of see what the before and after, just trying to, again, enhance the aesthetic. When folks come down the road and they see Edward Waters University, we want them to first see us, know that we're there, and know that we are a thriving institution as we, again, do everything that we can to enhance the aesthetic appeal and also the functional operations of our institution from that perspective. So you can see here, this was the old financial aid office. This is the before pictures here. And I think we have some after pictures in terms of what it looks like now. So we've gone in, put new flooring in. And again, we're focusing on and understand there is a strategic focus on here. We've got to really look at our forward-facing spaces in terms of where we interact most with students, parents, particularly prospective students and parents, even our current students as well, where we're interfacing with them the most is kind of strategically how we're trying to eat this proverbial deferred maintenance elephant. And there's some more information that we'll be sharing hopefully soon in terms of a welcome center as we look to upgrade our admissions area, our financial aid, student accounts, student advising areas as well. So again, just evidence of some of the enhancement that we're making around the capital infrastructure of our campus. So here's the after picture there of the former financial aid office. I do want to share an update with regard to the EWU Living, Learning, and Community Center. We have a tremendous need for a new residence facility, student residence facility. I think we all know that. For you all that don't know, on the last new construction, not a renovation, which we're happy about our renovation at Richardson Hall. Don't get me wrong, we desperately needed it. But even more than that, we need new construction of a new student residence hall desperately on this campus. We have not had new construction of a new residence hall, I mean, from the ground up since 1982. It has been 40 plus years going on now that we've had new construction, and that was Morris Cone A and B in 1982. And so again, we are working diligently to bring that aspirant dream of a new resident facility to reality, to our campus. And so what you see there is a proposed rendering of the EWU Living, Learning, and Community Center. And the first question I get in this regard, well, where is that going to go? Where are you going to put that? So there is an area right now that our students refer to as the back 40. There's an area that's there, and we actually own land. You see a tree line there that kind of abuts the back of that. We actually own much of that land that also goes back some ways as well. So that's where we envision for this EWU Living, Learning, and Community Center to go. And so essentially, it would be approximately, if we can go back to the prior slide, approximately about a 300 bed facility. Again, as we are growing, we are in desperate need of facilities. We frankly, if in fact our projections come through as we expect them to for enrollment this year, we're going to again be putting students in hotels this year because we are now outgrown. We've outgrown our capacity in terms of current student housing that we have on the campus. That's a good problem to have. There are other institutions that would be begging to be in the position where they're growing at such an exponential rate. So what I want to share too is the fact that where we are in that process. And so Where we are is that we have received a term sheet, which is a critical step from a financial entity that has committed to working with us as we now are going to be moving forward with doing some surveying of the land there and some other process. I think there's some boring and other things that have to be done as we look to develop this project. The pre-development costs are at about $500,000. Those dollars have already been allocated there. About $250,000 coming from the university, and then the other $250,000, I believe, Mr. Mitchell, has been promised or dedicated from the financial entity, the reinvestment fund. You all may have heard that group before. It helped us with our refinance. They're going to also be helping us with regard to these pre-development costs for this new facility. And so, again, we are working very deliberately. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But it is our hope to be able to make an announcement sometime this academic year. That's my hope. That's our plan. Sometime this academic year, I'm hopeful for us to be able to announce that we will be breaking ground on this project sometime over the next 12 months. And so, again, this would be an incredibly exciting development for our institution. Again, it's approximately about 300 or so beds. It will also have, as a part of the space, it's not just student residential. You also hear learning and community center. So there also will be an opportunity for some classroom space. I've been involved in this kind of multi-purpose facility before. Kind of, if you look at it on the left-hand side, it's like a women's wing. The right side is a men's wing. And then some of the portions that you see in the center there can be dedicated more to some community outreach kinds of opportunities. We also don't have a space other than, and y'all heard me kid about this before, other than our auditorium, our Milne Chapel, and gym. We don't have a space on the campus where all of the campus can come and meet. And we don't really have a space that's conducive for, this kind of meeting. Either we're meeting in Milne and we're all kind of in a chapel, which also isn't the most conducive for certain kinds of activities, or you're in this cavernous gymnasium. So part of this also will be a multi-purpose area large enough to encompass meetings of the entire university, faculty, staff, students, everyone. And so we're really excited about this. I think the projected cost is about $21 million. So I wanted to update you all as a faculty and staff community. This is something that we're very working very hard on, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to make an announcement towards a groundbreaking on the EW Living, Learning, and Community Center sometime this academic year. That's my hope. That's my hope, and we're going to be working with reckless abandon with everything we have to bring this vision to fruition. Because again, it's something that we desperately need from a growth perspective for our students, and it's also something that we need to give us some more capacity in terms of the work that our faculty do and our staff, and having meeting spaces here on our campus, as well as an outward-facing opportunity to engage our community with the work that's done with Shell Suite. They are in need of more space. I know sometimes they may think we forget about them. We do not forget about you. We appreciate the work that you do. And so we're looking at how we might even be able to ingratiate some spaces for some of our community work to also perhaps have some space in this facility as well. So again, we are really excited about the potential for this community, and we are and have made some substantial progress in terms of having already received a term sheet towards the financing of this prospective new facility here on our campus. So we're very excited about this, and very excited, of course, for our students for the prospect of this new EWU Living, Learning, and Community Center. So I'm also pleased to share some updates with regard to the Susie E. Tolbert House. As you all know, it's a very historic space and building that houses our Office of Institutional Advancement, Development, Marketing, and Communications. The facility is a very historic building, and catch me around campus and I'll give you some of the history of Susie Tolbert, who was certainly, Dr. Jameson may even be able to give us some insight on just how impactful she was in this community as an educator. But that home that houses our institutional advancement office was in significant disrepair. It was really in very poor shape. And again, as we're focusing strategically on forward-facing areas, that's an area where we want to invite donors, be able to cultivate folks to give to our institution. And often right now, or formerly, we really could not bring them to a space that was in such a dilapidated condition. And so we embarked to really do a comprehensive renovation of that space. And now, if you were to just drive by and look at the Susie Tolbert home, it has been completely restored, landscaping. It's a space that you can really be proud of. So please, if you have not had an opportunity, stop by and see the tremendous upgrades that have been done to the Susie E. Tolbert House, which again houses our Office of Institutional Advancement and Development. There's a parking lot there now. There was no parking lot. There were just a number of issues with the space, with the house, that we've been able to upgrade. And so we're very excited about all of the upgrades that we were able to make to the exterior there and also on the interior that will really help to create an environment where we can cultivate donors in the way that we like to do. So excited about that upgrade as well. I think you all saw earlier some of the work that we're doing in terms of the campus fencing project. We just want you to know, matter of fact, I think I was on the phone last week. We're getting ready to move into getting the entrance on both sides of Kings Road. The facades are getting ready to go up. And so we just wanted to give you a look at what that will visually, how that will look on both sides of Kings Road. And I think we're on the precipice of getting that done. We also are going to be adding the EWU logos to the fencing. This one is colored. It won't be colored like this. It'll be bronze. But again, so functional safety and security, as well as adding to the campus aesthetic. And hopefully this will help you all as our faculty and our staff and certainly our students to feel safer on our campus and help our campus security force be able to track better who's supposed to be on our campus, who isn't, as we really focus on making sure that we protect the safety of our students, our faculty and staff. So we're excited about that as well. All right, thirdly, and at our core, in terms of our fostering of a genuine student-centered culture that's essentially rooted in student leadership development, student success and service, and student engagement and achievement, I am delighted to share with you some of the great work that we saw last year that's continuing now under the leadership of Dr. Jamel Hodges and our entire student success and engagement team. This past spring, the Edward Waters University spring elections were held, and we had a number of students, which was good, an increasing number of students that were interested in becoming leaders here at our institution. And so the elections were held. We also had our inaugural Mr. and Miss EWU pageant. It was something that I had been longing for. We've had coronations, but we needed to have a pageant. And I'm telling you, our young men and our young ladies really represented themselves incredibly well. I was so impressed with the talent and all we just have phenomenal young people here at Edward Waters. And so again, they got to participate in the pageant, and our Miss Edward Waters University for 2022-2023 is Miss Chandra Bethea, excellent student. I think she's a communications major, I think she's a communications major, but excellent student. We're so excited for her. I think she and our Mr. EWU just came back from, I think they were in New Orleans for their King and Queen training. So we're very excited about their leadership as they represent our university for this upcoming academic year. And then you heard earlier from our Student Government Association president, the dynamic Patricia Johnson. I'm so excited for her leadership. She has been engaged with student government for a number of years. And I'm excited to see her now ascend to the presidency here at Edward Waters as our new Student Government Association president. And so you can see there, those are our student leaders for this upcoming year. You heard me earlier refer to our Mr. Edward Waters University, Mr. Amari Leith, who is an incredibly talented artist through photography. And I mean, he does some of everything. So excited about all of our student leaders. We have student athletes that are represented there, presidential scholars. So we have a great cross section, I think, of students that are now taking on the mantle of leadership here at Edward Waters University. So I'm so excited. I see Amari Bell, one of our basketball players. So again, it's just great just to see our student leaders, and excited for their leadership for this upcoming academic year. We also held our annual Tiger Fest this past spring, and our students were very excited. I didn't get to attend any of the events, but I was able to watch some of them online, as they had R&B singer Jacquees, who claims that he's the king of R&B. I'm not quite sure about that, but nevertheless, the students really enjoyed him, as well as the rapper Trina, which is from my day, which I didn't think they would get all that excited about, but Dr. Hodges assured me that they would, and so did Mr. Crispin, and in fact, they were. So I was happy that the students were happy as they had an opportunity to let their hair down and have some fun during Tiger Fest with Trina and Jacquees. So that was a great time for our students. I want to share now that the save the date has gone out for Homecoming 2022. Homecoming week is October 30th through November the 5th. And our homecoming game is set for November 5th against the University of Fort Lauderdale. So the Homecoming 2022 committee has already been established. It's made up of campus community constituencies across the institution. So our faculty, staff, students, and alumni. They've been meeting since March, and so we are looking forward to a wonderful homecoming week later this upcoming fall. So we're excited about homecoming 2022. Also, kind of want to share, I just thought this was some good information for our staff and our faculty to have, because we didn't have this when I was in school. We updated all of the appliances in every residence hall this past spring with brand new washers and dryers. And we don't charge students for washing and drying. All of their washing and drying is completely free. I remember back when I was in school, some of y'all may remember, I had to go and get rolls of quarters and sit there and feed the machine and hope I can get all of my clothes washed and dried. But we did upgrade all of the appliances in every residence hall with brand new washers and dryers. And now we offer free unlimited laundry for all of our students here on the campus. So we thought that was a significant upgrade, and I think our students have been most appreciative. We also, in an effort to increase security, when presidents are often asked, what's the one thing that keeps you up at night? For me, it's the safety and security of our students. And so, as augmented by our fencing project, we also have engaged in investing in the installation of key fob systems at the main entrance of each of our residence halls. We're also looking at the security in terms of doors. We've had some issues with doors not opening or not closing properly. And so again, we want to ensure, when parents entrust their young people to us, that we're keeping them safe. So that's very important to us. So again, wanted to share information with regard to the implementation of key fob systems at the main entrances of each of our residence halls. So we're excited about that development in terms of our student leadership and development. And so lastly, I want to talk a little bit about what we've done and what we're continuing to do in terms of our fundraising at the institution and how we're advancing our philanthropic footprint and really advancing our brand as a best-in-class institution of distinction and emerging eminence. So if we go to our first slide, I kind of want to just share with you our fiscal year 2022. It says 21, but it should be fiscal year 2022 fundraising results. And so we just closed the fiscal year last month. Well, I guess month before last now on June 30th. And so our total fundraising for this year was at for private contributions. Let me qualify that. Total private contributions were a little bit over $1.4 million. We're excited that we were able to achieve that figure. Our goal for this year was $536,957. So we actually exceeded our private fundraising goal by $161 0.36%. So again, we obliterated our private fundraising goal for this year. So our total contributions in terms of private gifts and external grants received was right at about 3.7, a little less than 3.8 million for this past year. And again, that also exceeds our overall goal. So again, we had an excellent year from a fundraising and philanthropic perspective. There's always room to do more and to do better, but we certainly are pleased with the outcomes for this past year in terms of our fiscal year 2022 fundraising results. In addition, I'm pleased to share that the Jesse Ball DuPont Fund has again awarded an additional $100,000 in funding towards our Honors College. They've been very pleased with the work that we've done in terms of attracting that profile of students as we increase our competitiveness as an institution and attracting high achieving students. They've been very pleased at the work that we've done there and have awarded us an additional $100,000 there. So now we're up to a total of almost $500,000 over the course of this entire program that has been slated to support the scholars who are part of the Honors College at EWU, which is now approximately grown to approximately 60 students. So we're very excited about that. And so again, this increased funding is going to do a lot for us in terms of how we're able to continue providing for the development of our students that are presidential scholars and members of our Honors College in terms of their academic development and co-curricular engagements. So we're very excited about that. So this, again, is just kind of a breakdown as you look at the total donations for the institution. The private donations are on the left-hand side, the 1.4 million. You can see the different categories there. Still, there's certainly work to do, but we're, again, proud of the progress that we've made in terms of being able to exceed what our goals were for this past year. And then on the right-hand side, you see just the total. That's including our private as well as our grants received. You see our Apple Propel gift there. Other grants that we received from the city of Jacksonville and other external donors as well. So again, brought us in, when you combine both of them, right at about a little less than 3.8 million for the year. So again, very, very excited and very pleased with the progress that we're making from a fundraising and philanthropic perspective. Always work left to do, but we're excited about the work that's emanated. You heard me speak earlier about our Propel program. I was so pleased to see the work that's being done in collaboration with our faculty, particularly in our Department of Communications. I was able to see some of our students that participated this summer in the Propel Center program that's in collaboration with Apple that some of you all may have heard me share back in January. So some of our students were able to participate in that this summer in Atlanta. I think it was on the campus of Clark Atlanta University. But we were selected as one of 10 HBCUs nationally to receive a grant focused on the arts and entertainment. We've been very, very pleased to see the partnership between Edward Waters and Apple and the Propel Center as they work with our students, particularly in our communications area, to give them opportunities to explore different career paths and opportunities in the communications area, and particularly in arts and music and entertainment. And so we're very, very excited about that grant, that $300,000 grant, and we look forward, hopefully, to receiving a second grant sometime here soon. So I'm looking forward to being able to make that announcement, hopefully soon, in terms of a second grant that will come to help to support our students as they continue to participate in the Propel Center and Apple program. Our inaugural Mayor's Mass Ball was a resounding success. For you faculty and staff that did not attend, you missed quite an event. It was the largest fundraiser that the university has had in terms of a one-night or one-time event. We raised nearly $400,000 for the event. It was quite an affair. And we're looking for, as a matter of fact, earlier this morning, I was on with one of our signature donors who has some audacious goals towards us getting over the $500,000 mark and hopefully raising $1 million. That's his thing, is he wants us to raise $1 million in one night as we look to bring on the second iteration of our inaugural Mayor's Mass Ball. So again, this is now an annual event that we'll be having that's hosted by our mayor. and many of the corporate community around Edward Waters. Some of you all may recall that our partnership with UNCF had formerly been a luncheon. It had a luncheon every year. And then I came along and kind of poo-pooed that idea because Edward Waters was not receiving one red penny in terms of direct funding from the event. Of course, as a member of UNCF, we get money from UNCF, but in terms of having direct dollars coming directly from that event to come to support our students in terms of scholarships or our university, that wasn't happening through that luncheon model. And so I said, no, we don't want to continue with that. I'm familiar with a model, which is the Mayor's Masked Ball, and certainly in soliciting our mayor, who was fully on board, and others, we were able to make this event happen. And so we were very, very excited about it. I think we might have a video that can kind of encapsulate just what took place on that evening. This will be an annual event, Mr. Mayor, that we have every year in support of UNCF and Edward Waters University.
Your cause is righteous and it's good, and I'm just here to say thank you. It's a blessing to be with you. Let's be safe. Let's have a wonderful evening.
Edward Waters University is now Jacksonville's fastest growing college or university over the past 3 years. Moreover, for this current academic year, Edward Waters welcomed its largest class of new students on record. And how many of you all know that's an accomplishment because we've been around 155 plus years. And so, as you all can see, it was a stellar affair. We had the opportunity to honor Dr. Janetta Cole, who's a Jacksonville native, and who I didn't know until some time ago. Her mother actually was a professor at one time at Edward Waters College. And so we were certainly delighted to welcome her. Of course, she is an iconic higher educational figure and a Jacksonville native again. So we were very excited. And for Joshua Jackson, who said he loves the Hamiltones so much, you should have been there. You missed them. You should have been there, sir. You should have been there. And so we had a great night featuring the Hamiltones in terms of the music that they provided to us. And so we look forward and hopeful that many of you faculty and staff that were not able to attend this past year, that you'll find the time to be able to attend a great night that features our students, And it's all for a great cause in terms of raising dollars to support Edward Waters University. So again, just a great event. And certainly in April, we held our alumni weekend, and we're excited to do that again and look forward to hosting our alumni next year as well. Also this past spring, I had an opportunity to participate in the Florida HBCU Impact Summit. Some of you all know that we are blessed in Florida to be in a place where we receive some modicum, I limit that with some modicum of state dollars to support our institution in terms of the private institutions. And we've experienced some growth in that regard, but we have to make sure that we are maintaining our advocacy with our state legislature and certainly our governor to ensure that we continue receiving those dollars. And so one of our focuses this past spring was to bring the HBCU presidents here in our state together as we strategize and talk about ways in which we can advocate to continue the support and funding for our university. So I was excited to participate in that Florida HBCU Summit, which was held down in Miami Gardens at Florida Memorial this past spring. One of the other developments that we have recently had is that this past spring, I mentioned earlier, we had a SAC-COC visit with regard to our level change from college to university with our MBA program. Simultaneous to that, we also, this past February, same month, the NCAA was on campus. They conducted an on-site visit, and they didn't do it virtually. They were here in person. The NCAA was here on campus and met with certainly our director of intercollegiate athletics and our athletic staff. Students, me as president, financial aides. I mean, they met with everyone. They do a 360-degree review of your campus because as we are now, we're at the time looking to move into the second year of the 3-year process for reclassification to NCAA Division II. Part of that process requires an in-person site visit to your campus. I think they were here 2 days, maybe 2 days, 2 or 3 days. And again, delving into all of the particularities related to how our athletics program is run, looking at our facilities, looking at a number of different attendant requirements and expectations relative to becoming a NCAA Division II member institution. And so we had that visit back in February. And what I'm very, very pleased to share is that on July 14th, 2022, which happened to be my wedding anniversary, so it was a great day from that perspective. And then to get the call from the NCAA, they called me directly to let me know that Edward Waters was successful in moving into the second year of the NCAA Division II membership reclassification process. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day to hear that news. And certainly, I am most appreciative to our Associate Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Paul Bryant, for his tremendous leadership, and our entire athletic administrative team, our coaches, our student athletes. It takes a team effort to really move the proverbial needle forward as we talk about this reclassification to NCAA Division II. And so why was this move to second year particularly important? Because it now allows our student athletes to compete fully as a member of the SIAC, meaning that we are now eligible for postseason play in terms of conference postseason play. And that's particularly important for our student athletes because they want to have something to play for. So now they have an opportunity to compete beginning immediately. So this year, all of our teams that are competing in the SIAC are eligible to compete for postseason championships and postseason all-conference honors and awards. And so we're so very excited about that new development with regard to our athletic program. And certainly, again, congratulations to Dr. Bryant and our entire athletic administrative team, our coaches, student athletes, and everyone that played a part in making that happen. Very excited to share. Many of you all may have seen, if you keep up with sports at all, I think it was last week, if my weeks are not running together, we had the official induction of Mr. Buck O'Neil posthumously who was inducted to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. And of course, he is an alumnus of Edward Waters. And so we were excited that he was recognized as one of 6 players that was chosen for induction to the National Baseball Hall of Fame, which is an incredible accomplishment. And we certainly want to acknowledge the tremendous contributions that Buck O'Neil made to the game of baseball, and the fact that he is associated with Edward Waters as an alum is something that with which we are most proud. I'm also pleased to share that this past year, LaQuanza Glover became the first EWU student athlete, and I think the first student athlete from any Florida HBCU to sign a name, image, and likeness NIL deal with Global Freight and Commerce, who's owned by one of our strongest supporters of athletics. And so we were excited to be a forerunner in the NIL space. If any of y'all keep up with college athletics, that is a space that is bonkers right now. And so certainly for Edward Waters to have been the first or amongst the first to have a student athlete to sign an NIL deal is certainly something that our athletics program is certainly very, very proud of. So congratulations to Ms. Glover, and certainly we're excited and proud of the induction of Buck O'Neil into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. This past year, in terms of our athletics programs, our women's soccer program, really in an inaugural year, just really had an excellent season. They captured our first victory in the history of our institution, because this was our first college program for soccer last year. And certainly we had one freshman player who was our team's leading goal scorer, Queen Moore. She was selected to the All-Continental Athletic Conference second team. And then we also had 2 other members of the team that were honorable mentions. So very excited about the accomplishments of our women's soccer program. Next slide. Women's volleyball. I will tell you, our volleyball program is just second to none. I had an opportunity this past year to attend their championship game, which was held at Fisk University. And these young ladies, under the leadership of Coach Reeves, I mean, they have just done a phenomenal job. So this team competed last year and was the 2021 Gulf Coast Athletic Conference Volleyball champions. And so we are so very proud of these young ladies. They are excellent on the volleyball court and also excellent in the classroom as well. And so the Lady Tigers made their first ever appearance in the 2021 NAIA Women's Volleyball National Tournament. They lost in 3 sets, but they certainly represented us extremely well. And if I know anything about Coach Reeves, he's got some reinforcements that are on the way as we look to now open up Division II, NCAA Division II competition this year, as we can now compete fully and are eligible for postseason play. And so I'm confident that they're going to bring home an SIAC volleyball championship this year. So we're very excited for the tremendous outcomes for our women's volleyball program. Next slide. Our baseball team, if you all did not hear while we were in recess, our baseball team won the Black College National Championship, not conference, but the national championship. And we are certainly so very proud of Coach Reggie Johnson, his entire coaching staff, and all of the young men that represented Edward Waters so extremely well, winning the Black College World Series during this past summer, and winning the Black College National Championship. I think we have a video with Coach Johnson that's on deck. Let's show that video. I mean, just wonderful accomplishment.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow! Right. Washington's going to settle. He says he has it. The ball is going to land in his glove, and that is the ball game. The Edward Waters University Tigers are the 2022 Tyson Foods Black College World Series champions and the HBCU National Champions.
And they are still celebrating off Kings Road here in Jacksonville as the Edgewater Tigers took care of Kentucky State last night, winning the national title, Saturday night that is, a final 3-2. Joining me now to relive and discuss bringing home the Black College World Series National Championship is EWU head coach Reginald Brown and the most outstanding player, Keelan Washington. Coach, players, so good to see you guys tonight. And let's start with the obvious. You've had some time to allow it to sink in. What is it like being a national champ? How has it been since you won it?
It's been good, man. It's been good. We've phone hasn't stopped going off. Finally, not yet able to catch up with any sleep, but it's been good. All the work that was put in between, from August 5 a.m. workouts to now, definitely has paid off.
Mr. Washington, how's it been for you, my friend?
Honestly, it's an overwhelming feeling. Never felt like this before. My phone truly hasn't been going off this much ever. I got family, friends, just everywhere, man. I've just overwhelmed completely.
And you won the most outstanding player award, so you were getting your swerve on.
That's what they've been saying. That's what they've been saying. I honestly can't put it away from anybody, but all glory to God in all honesty. I know my dad's been watching me as well, and all the people that from out of town, from cities, from Louisiana, Texas, even Orlando, they're just proud of me, and I'm just proud to be a Tiger in all honesty.
Now, what makes this win more impressive, in my opinion, is that you guys were able to beat your arch rival, Florida Memorial.
Oh, yeah.
You did it at like 1:30 Saturday morning. Did you guys think you were going to have anything left for the championship game?
Man, if there's one thing that I've learned about this group, they never give up.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked extremely hard, like I said, all the way back from August to now. And like we always tell them, as long as they have an out, we have an opportunity. So honestly, excuse me, I still don't have a voice. But honestly, just with having an out, I honestly believe that we had an opportunity to win it all.
Mr. Washington, if you could talk about you guys' pitching. Austin James got the victory for the Tigers. 5 innings, just allowed 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. They were huge in the series as well, your pitching staff.
Oh, man. Pitching has been honestly an up and down the whole season, but we all know that defense wins ball games, and without defense, you can't win without pitching as well. The pitching is what starts the game. Us, in all honesty, we're a hitting team, but pitching found a way to pick themselves up. And Austin James pitched a hell of a game. Honestly, he had to come out, knew what he had to do, and he knew that without winning the first pitch, he's going to have to step up and win every other pitch after that.
Coach, one thing has been made very clear over off Kings Road, that you guys are wanting to change the narrative of the athletics department. How does this win, this national championship, help in doing that?
A lot. Just kudos to President Dr. A. Zachary Faison and our athletic director, Dr. Bryant. Their vision for what they want has been known, and with the resources and everything in which they've done, that is giving us that opportunity to be successful. There's a lot of good things happening.
Well, save your voice, because you guys are going to be here until the end of the show. Keelan, thank you, my friend, for joining me. Coach, thank you for joining me. But just stay put. We got more from you guys. The national champs, Edgewater University Tigers.
E-Dub.
So that just rings like gold in my ears to hear national champion Edward Waters University. So again, congratulations to Coach Johnson and our entire men's baseball team. But let me share something with you, not to be outdone. The ladies of Edward Waters University, our softball team, led by Coach Brian Daly, were also crowned HBCU national champions this past year, as they brought home a national championship to Edward Waters University. So that's 2 national championships, not Jacksonville, not local, not the conference, but HBCU national championship softball team. And so kudos and congratulations to those outstanding young ladies, again, led by our head coach, Coach Brian Daly, and his coaching staff for bringing home a 2nd national championship here to Edward Waters University. So we are so extremely proud of those young ladies as they also garnered a second national championship for Edward Waters University this past year. So I'm also excited to unveil and share our 2022 football schedule. Certainly, we are looking forward to a great season here under the leadership of Coach Toriano Morgan. I know our football team, I think, reported on Monday. And so no pressure, coach, but we're looking for a winning season this year. We have not had a winning season since 2004. It's been 18 years. I am, everyone knows I'm a pretty competitive guy, and I'm sick of losing. And I know that our head coach and coaching staff and all the student athletes that we have here at Edward Waters, that we are going to have a winning season this year. I think we're going to have a championship season this year, emanating from our Edward Waters football team. And so, again, we have a great schedule this year, and I have to always mention this, but what a transformation we have made in terms of football. I think y'all will recall the kinds of football schedules that we had back in 2018, where we were playing Edward Waters versus, Southwest Christian School of the third quartile in southeastern Louisiana, down the street, across the road. And we certainly have now transformed the perception of our football program, our athletic program. As you can see with this schedule, I think we have 6 home games this year. Is it Clark Atlanta, Savannah State, Morehouse at home, Albany State at home? Looks like we have University of Fort Lauderdale and Allen. Yes, so 6 home games this year. 6 home games this year, headline, of course, by our homecoming against the University of University of Fort Lauderdale. Yes, and our first home game is against Clark Atlanta University here on September the 3rd. There's a little small game on October the 8th that I've got a lot riding on. That I need our Tigers to whip them Golden Rams and send them back up the road. Coach Morgan, I'm telling you, they're all over me. They're talking about they're sending 3 or 4 buses down here. So I want to make sure they ride back to Albany real sad and hurt that they dared to come to Jacksonville. But we're looking forward to a great season, ending, of course, with our AME Classic against Allen University. So we're very excited about that. We also will be making a trip to North Carolina A&T State University, and I think we're going to acquit ourselves well. A&T is the largest HBCU in the country, and so I'm looking forward for us to have an opportunity to showcase the Edward Waters brand on a national audience. We also are going to be appearing on national television on ESPN this year. I'm not sure which game it is. Is it the Allen University game? I think there are 2 games that we're on ESPN. I know one is Allen University. I'm not sure when the other one is, if someone can put it in the chat, Mr. Jackson, but I think we're on ESPN twice. So again, national exposure for our university and our athletics program. So we're really excited for the upcoming Savannah State. Okay, Savannah State and Allen. Savannah State should be a big game as well because they are a regional rival of ours. So again, looking forward to having a great year on the gridiron this year. Really excited. Really very excited. So looking forward to it, and we appreciate the work that Coach Morgan and his staff are doing with our young men in football. Not to be outdone, men's volleyball in our inaugural season. And again, Edward Waters is the only HBCU that competes in men's volleyball in the state of Florida. This year in our inaugural season, led again by Coach Reeves, we were the SIAC regular season co-champions in our very first year. We had a conference record of 9-1 in the conference. We only lost 1 match the entire year in our conference, and advanced all the way to the conference championship match. We lost that match in 5 sets. It was a grueling match, but our young men played exceptionally well. But again, we still brought home the SIAC regular season co-championship. And so that's another set of rings that I got to try to find money to buy. But I'm happy to do that when our student athletes achieve at such a prominent and high level. So again, kudos to Coach Reeves. Again, if I know Coach Reeves, he's got reinforcements on the way, and we're going to win that SIAC tournament this year to go along with being the regular season co-champion. So very, very excited about the historic inaugural season of our men's volleyball program here at Edward Waters University. As we close, we had a great commencement this year. We conferred 128 degrees this year. And so that was a very positive anytime. I mean, it's the best time of the year from my perspective, when you see young people that you saw when they came to the institution at 17, 18 years old, and then to see them cross the finish line, to confer that degree and put that degree in their hand, it certainly was a wonderful, wonderful day for our commencement. We were blessed this past spring to continue our Stay Woke lecture series. We had Yvette Carnell, and we had, and I just have to say this, I think probably the best visit that we've had since we started this series back in 2018, in my opinion, the visit that we had featuring Dr. Cornel West. If you missed this, faculty, I just have to say, if you missed this, you need to get your life, as the young people say, because you truly missed an evening of such scholarly and socio-political insight. That was just absolutely incredible. And I think that when Dr. West left our campus, matter of fact, I know when he left our campus just as filled as we were in terms of the work that was going on at Edward Waters. So much so that some of you all might not have caught it, but Dr. West went on national television on CNN, and he said this.
So joining me now, civil rights leader, Professor Cornel West. There he is, Professor. I love having these conversations.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing very well. I'm glad you're here. Let's talk about this. You heard Areva and I just talked about the developments in the trials over the killings of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. We have been reporting on this mall fight between two teens where police restrained and then handcuffed and arrested the black teen, but the white teen was just told to sit on the couch, was not taken away or restrained or, taken into confinement or what have you. These are all very different cases, but we know what happened because it was all caught on video. That's the through line here, right?
Absolutely. But the important thing for me to keep in mind, though, brother, is that yes, white supremacist behavior is evil. We know it's everywhere. But I have been blessed to be at the Edward Waters University under the magnificent leadership of A. Zachary Bashan, who was the president, and then Sister Donna Oliver, who was provost. And I say that because we've got to talk about forces of good in the face of evil. We don't want to be parasitic on evil. We don't want to be just reactive. We want creative responses that have a vision that can highlight our strength in the face of what those police did to our brother Kai.
So for Dr. West to highlight Edward Waters University as a force of good, in our world and across our globe was certainly a highlight that demonstrated that he felt full of having come our way as well. So again, we were excited to welcome Dr. West, and we look forward under the leadership of, under the banner rather, of our A. Philip Randolph Institute that Dr. Hobbs will be rolling out soon, our lineup for this year. We've been working very hard in that regard, and we've got some exciting speakers coming to our campus for this year. Finally, I've been blessed to join the following boards to represent you and represent our university, the Jacksonville Symphony Board, as well as Visit Jacksonville, and looking forward to representing the university on both of those boards this upcoming year as we again advance our brand. And then I was certainly very, very pleased to accept on your behalf the opportunity to have been named one of the 10 most dominant HBCU leaders this past year or this year by the HBCU Campaign Fund. And so that's only made possible again because of the work that you're doing as a dynamic, committed faculty and staff here at Edward Waters University. We are undergoing a positive transformation. Everything at this university is moving in a forward direction. And it's because of you. It's because of the commitment that you have to our students. It's because of the commitment to excellence and emerging eminence that all of you as committed partners and stakeholders in this enterprise that we call Edward Waters University have partnered with us in making it become the very best that it can be. And so I thank all of you all for what I know will be a great year. And finally, I'm very pleased to share that after 4 years, I'm going into my 5th year now as president here at Edward Waters, that this year our board is going to be celebrating with me the inauguration, my inauguration. It says, well, why would you do an inauguration 4 years after being here? I said the same thing, but our board said it needs to be done. It's something that's right. It's something that is less about you, Mr. President, and more about the institution. And many of you all know the financial challenges that existed in 2018 that, frankly, from my perspective, prohibited us from doing an inauguration. A lot of my colleagues around the country said, I wouldn't forego my inauguration. I said, we can't do that. We can't throw what in many respects is a big party. And I'm saying to my faculty and staff at the same time that we're millions of dollars in debt. And so we forewent what for a lot of folks is a crowning moment in their careers. But it was delayed. It may have been deferred, but now we see that it was not denied. And so I am excited to share that we will, as a family, as a collective of faculty, staff, students, alumni in the community, have an opportunity and will want you all to definitely participate and be engaged in this inauguration as the first president of Edward Waters University. So it's going to be November the 2nd through November the 4th. And I'm very excited to share some tentative schedule events that we have. We'll have a First Lady Derby style Queen's Tea that's going to be sponsored by the Leb Family Foundation, who have been staunch supporters of this university and this administration for a number of years. That's going to be held on the 2nd of November. Then on the on the night of November the 2nd, on that Wednesday, we'll be having a night of worship featuring Grammy Award-winning gospel artist Erica Campbell of Mary Mary. So please come out and enjoy Erica Campbell, as well as gospel legend and Grammy Award-winning singer and pastor John P. Key and New Life. So we're having John P. Key and Erica Campbell on that Wednesday night. We're excited about that. That's Wednesday night. That's church night. So we want you all to come out and worship with us on that Wednesday night with John P. Key and Erica Campbell. And then on the following day, we'll have our Stay Woke Distinguished Speaker Series. And last year we had a T.I. Clifford Harris, and we've already got someone secured for this year that I'm telling you the students are going to go absolutely crazy for. I won't share it now because I don't want it to get out, but our students and many of you all are going to, just be ready. That's all I can say. For the Stay Woke Distinguished Speaker Series event for November the 3rd. And then, of course, the investiture ceremony. The guest speaker will not be J. Allen Walker. I don't know why he has that down there in the chat. But for the investiture ceremony on that Friday morning will take place at 10 a.m. That'll be here on campus in our Adams Jenkins Sports and Music Complex, followed by an invitation-only luncheon. But that night we'll be having a scholarship fundraising concert featuring none other than multi-Grammy award-winning artist and producer Kenny Babyface Edmonds. Kenny Babyface Edmonds will be on campus giving a full concert. All the dollars that will be raised will go towards scholarships and support for Edward Waters University. So please, please, please come out. I know that there's been a planning committee that is going to be reaching out to faculty and staff to join the planning committee for these events. But we have the framework in place, but we want and need our faculty and our staff and our students to be a part of this community celebration. It's less of a celebration about me, but more of a celebration of Edward Waters University, our new vision, our leadership. And so we are beseeching you to be a part of this celebration of our university. And so that the events will end that Friday night. And then, of course, Saturday is our homecoming game and all of the festivities around homecoming. So again, we're very, very excited about that, and we are excited about this new academic year. Again, I want to welcome you back for our returning faculty and staff, and then certainly all of our new members of our Tiger family that have joined us. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to having dialogue with you, and we look forward to having a very successful academic year. I know that we are beyond the hour, and we're supposed to come back at 1:30, so I'm going to take some executive privilege, and I'm going to give you 15 minutes of that time back. And so we'll start our next session. I think there's a customer service workshop for staff only that was scheduled for 1:30. I'm going to start that at 1:45. At 1:45, so 1:45 to 3 o'clock, as well as a faculty meeting for some dialogue with me for faculty only that was scheduled to start at 1:30. We'll convene that at 1:45 as well so that you get some of that time back. But again, I thank all of you all for your commitment to Edward Waters University. We are in this together. We are making this progress together. And we know that working together works. And so again, we thank you for your commitment to our university and look forward to a wonderful, wonderful 2022-2023 academic year. Go Tigers.
Certainly, we thank our dynamic president for that most informative, inspirational, thorough State of the University address. Mr. President, we thank you. Colleagues, let us all adjourn now. Go grab your lunch, and we will gather back, as the president indicated, at 1:45. We will be in 2 different Zoom rooms, full-time faculty only in the faculty room. There's a Zoom link for that. Everyone else will be in the 1:45 session for staff. When the faculty session ends, all faculty will leave that Zoom room and return to the Zoom room that our staff are in. We will see you at 1:45. And the password is on the screen for the Zoom room afternoon session. Is that for which one, Mr. Walker? We have 2 different. Is that for the staff room? Okay, yes, it is. Saw it in the chat. All right. Thank you, colleagues.